I'm 21 years old. I just became the legal age to go out to bars. If a man is telling me, I'm sorry, no, you can't go out and drink with your friends, I'm sorry, but you're not the man for me. And I immediately would lose that interest because I'm sorry, but I'm my own person. I have free will, and I don't think I would really love somebody enough to just be like, drop everything and just listen to them. I am my own person.
Natasha, were you going to respond or?
No, wait.
Okay, so, well, I'll address it really quick. Why not? We can address it really quick since it's interesting. So, you said that you wouldn't change any of your behaviors when you get into a relationship.
Yeah.
But isn't part of a relationship, you do change certain things. For example, you no longer sleep with other people, assuming you're in a monogamous relationship.
Obviously, yeah, I think it's best to grow. When you're in a relationship, if you're benefiting and you're growing in a relationship, good. But if you are unhappy and if you're not happy, like staying home with your man and you would rather be partying, break up with him. Don't be with him, because if you'd rather be partying, go do that. You're not committed to be stay-at-home girlfriend with your man and just listen to your man, because is that man providing for me financially? Probably not. Does he have a ring? Did he put a ring on my finger? Probably not. Is he gonna put a ring on my finger? Probably not. I'm 21 years old.
Probably not.
And I'm not
Probably
looking
not.
for that. I'm not looking for that. That's okay. I'm not looking for marriage at 21 years old, and I don't think I'm gonna find a high-value man at this age, because there isn't any high-value men at this age.
Well, I mean, it's actually at 21 years old, that's the best time to be looking for high-value men. But, you know,
He's right.
Go ahead. You wanted to come in, John? Go ahead.
Who's the guy that made you like this?
Wait, did you just do the who hurt you?
Made me like this.
Is this the who
Why
hurt
do
you?
you think a man has made me like this?
Dude,
Who do you think?
Somebody definitely hurt you.
No guy has really hurt me
So you're
enough.
just born with all this angst and hatred
Carson,
in your heart?
can you close the,
Why? Because I have values that aren't traditional.
I didn't say anything. Listen,
It
just
seems
because I'm
like
wearing
it. It
just because
kinda
I'm wearing a
pushes-
suit
you're
doesn't
pushing
mean
that.
just
You're
relax,
pushing that.
relax. Okay, just because I'm wearing a suit doesn't mean I'm traditional. It means I'm professional. Okay? So,
Okay.
all I'm trying to say is he asked you like a very simple question, but you came back with like a fiery, emotionally charged answer that was kind of like a little bit anti-male. And so I'm trying to figure out like what happened.
Nothing happened. I've only really ever been in one really serious relationship, and I was the one who ended it because I thought that it would be more fun to be single, and I've had a really great time being single. And I honestly try
you
to
seem
encourage.
so happy.
I am happy. I'm not looking for a relationship. Yeah, I've been on like dating sites, but if you look at the people that I match with or the people that I like my messages, there really isn't none, because I haven't found that high value male that I want to marry or pursue or even sleep with.
High value men, 9 times out of 10, they're not on dating apps.
That is correct.
Just like high value women, 9 times out of 10 are not on dating apps.
What makes a high value woman?
Oh, God.
What's that? Can
Concepts foreign
Let
to
me
you.
ask you that.
Concepts foreign to you. Modesty, being demure.
modesty? What does modesty?
Yeah, modesty in character, modesty in appearance, modesty in her demeanor.
You just don't like it when a woman is outspoken. You're intimidated by that.
You just met me like 10 minutes
Well,
ago.
okay.
And
let's-
you're already
guys,
starting
guys.
to say, you just called me a bitch, you insulted
hold
me.
on.
I have not insulted you.
You-
I said that you are intimidated. It
Wait,
seems to me
listen.
that you are intimidated.
Nobody's intimidated by you, first of all.
I don't, I'm not, who's,
Second of all,
yeah,
you
no,
don't
it
even-
seems like you're intimidated by
You- listen.
somebody that, that speaks the truth, that modesty, that is, okay, that is your concern, modesty.
No.
So, yeah, you just said that, a high value woman, the first thing that came out of your mouth was modesty.
there were
That is at the top
there were
of your
multiple
list.
things that came out
Is
of
that
my
at the top of the list, modesty?
No.
Then why did you name it
Can we
first?
just lower the temperature a little bit? Just
But she's
Okay.
triggered as fuck.
I would say, John, but just maybe refrain from ad hominem.
Right.
Beth, we should go.
Millions of dollars worth of cocaine fell from the sky this morning in Knoxville, Tennessee.
There's more of this out there. They dumped it somewhere.
I'm looking for my daughter.
Forest is a dangerous place.
Hey, Henry, check it out. Something got into it.
A deer, maybe.
A lot of cocaine was lost. I need you to go and get it.
No, don't eat that, don't eat that. Let's see what kind of effect that has on
The bear. It fucking did cocaine. A bear did cocaine.
There was a bear.
A bear?
It was Bark.
Hey, that's inappropriate.
You're safe. Bears can't climb trees.
Of course I can.
Higher, baby.
Oh shit.
Get higher, baby.
It kind of seems like the thing that stays with the man forever.
Apex predator. High on cocaine. Out of its mind. Oh man, you fucked.
What the fuck is wrong with that bear?
Shoot it, man. Beth, speed up.
Higher, baby. And don't ever come down.
We have such good luck in nature.
And we are live. Welcome to the Whatever Dating Talk podcast, coming to you live from Isla Vista, Santa Barbara County, California. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific. I'm your host, Brian Atlas. I'm joined by my co-host, Kiki. She's like somewhere in the back. You can kind of, sort of, yeah, there you go. She's hiding in the back. A few quick announcements before the show begins. First off, boys, can we get some F's in the chat for YouTube's new absolute dog shit user interface? It's bad. Okay. Anyways, this channel is viewer supported, so please consider sending a super chat throughout the show. I will read super chats $10 and up. All super chats will be displayed in stream overlay, and we have some additional super chat triggers if you guys want to look in the description. We've got channel memberships, Patreon, merch. All links are in the description. To become a channel member, hit that join button below. We have 6 different tiers of support, a ton of perks, and Eric, if you head on over to the next tab. Yeah, so at each, as we get more members, we unlock more emojis, more emotes. So right now, I think we're at about 120, 125, so, or maybe 130. So help us unlock number 16. And Michael Trilstein, by the way, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships before the show, man. Really appreciate it. We are also streaming to Twitch right now, twitch.tv/whatever. Drop us a follow, and if you have Amazon Prime, you can sub to us totally free with a Prime sub. And shout out to J Card for his 3 months of being a sub on Twitch, and also thank you to Moonshine for subscribing 2 days ago. Thank you guys. Just a quick, free, easy way to support the show. And also, please support my nonprofit, the American Network Against Labiaplasty. You guys have heard this one before. Basically, we empower women who may feel self-conscious or insecure about their large labia. Chase is on the board of directors.
It's true.
Yeah, so anyways, if you need any convincing to not go under the knife, DM me at whatever on Instagram. Okay, can we get some hashtag all labia matter in the chat? And lastly, if you want to be on the show or help the show, DM at whatever on Instagram, chat mods, timestamps, making clips, studio hands, etc. Anyways, we're going to have the guests introduce themselves, so please tell us your name, age, occupation, and or school major.
Hensley, as always. 22, I'm a stripper, and I'm studying psychology with a minor in philosophy and drug and alcohol counseling.
I'm Kiko, I'm 22, I'm a bartender, and also studying at the university, sociology and education.
I'm Breezy. I'm 34, and I'm a freelance graphic designer and audio engineer. I also have my own podcast.
What's it called?
Spectrum Podcast. We shortened
You changed
it.
the name. Yeah. What was it before?
It was on the Spectrum Podcast, so.
Why did
yeah.
you shorten it?
You know, it's probably, I bet your audience would call them snowflakes that responded with a little bit too much, like, but what if someone gets hurt? And I was like, but what about the funny side of it? So
Okay.
I just let it go.
I'm Tatum. I'm 29, and I work in pharmaceutical sales.
Hi, I'm Nicolette. I'm a stripper. I do OnlyFans. I'm having a sale right now, actually. Go check it out at Nicolette Nicole. You can find my social media like Twitter, Pornhub, all that good stuff by visiting allmylinks.com/Nicolette, and I'm working on getting my real estate license.
Hi, I'm Austis. I'm 27, and I'm an industrial designer.
Hi, I'm Grace. I'm 23. I work in marketing.
I'm Tara. I'm 21, and I'm in my senior year of college at UCSB studying psychology and philosophy.
I'm Chase, 27, professional photographer and brand consultant, and I'm done with school.
Rock and roll. Everyone's Instagrams are in the description, so go show them some love. Give them the follow. Sugar daddies in the chat, you know what to do. Okay, so going around the panel again. Current relationship status, longest relationship, and are you currently on any dating apps? And that includes seeking arrangements.
I feel like everyone knows my answers to these. I'm single. I am on Hinge, and my longest relationship was 10 months in high school.
I'm single as well. My longest relationship has been about 3 years, and I'm on Hinge.
I am married. My longest relationship's like 13 years on and off, and 5 years married now. So, yeah.
I'm currently single. My longest relationship was about 4 years on and off, and I'm currently on Hinge.
I'm single. My longest relationship was 7 years, and I'm on Tinder and Hinge.
I'm single. My longest relationship was 3 years. I'm currently not on any dating apps. I definitely did the shortest cycle of downloading the app and deleting it of 2 days.
I'm single. My longest relationship was about 6 months, and I'm currently on Hinge and The Right Stuff, which is a new dating app.
What is that? What is the right stuff?
It's an app for conservatives. So.
Is anybody else on the table, at the table, on the right stuff?
I applied for it, but you have to have somebody like invite you in, so
Yeah.
haven't gotten an invite yet.
Okay, I'll send you one.
Sounds what?
Sounds conservative.
Why is that?
You said you have to be invited in.
The guys
It's true.
guys have to be invited in. Girls don't have to.
Wait,
Guys
really?
do, yeah.
Yeah,
It's kind of
That's smart,
it's-
honestly.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
That honestly
Yeah.
sounds like a fucking discrimination lawsuit waiting to happen, but okay.
Maybe.
I'd prefer it be like that, because then when you get let in, you have less competition. You know.
Well, yeah, but it's kind of like with with the ladies' nights. It's like it depends which state, but in California, it's actually illegal to have ladies' nights because it's considered gender discrimination.
It's illegal.
It's illegal to like offer a discount to women solely on their gender.
But they definitely do that.
It's illegal,
Well,
but whether they do it or
I'm
not.
just saying, they do it.
Yeah. But I mean, there's definitely been lawsuits where like clubs will get sued if you have a ladies' night, where you're offering a discount to just women. If you
That's
offer
true.
if you offer the
I get it,
discount
I
to
get it,
both
yeah.
genders,
Yeah.
but you call it a ladies' night, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if you offer the discount to just one gender, then you open your. It's called like the Unruh Act of fucking, I don't know, 99 or some shit.
Of 99?
The
Dude,
Civil
no. How many
Unruh Act.
clubs really follow that in this state?
We had to, I remember we had a ladies' night out with, male strippers, and we were going to have, a discount for, women priced for their drinks, and we couldn't do it. Yeah, they're we would get in trouble. So, I think, honestly, it's probably only because, Santa Barbara, you know how, the AC, it's they're strict out here.
They're on, yeah.
They're just trying to get the clubs in trouble.
Anyways, continuing on with Tara.
I'm single,
Whoops.
and I was recently convinced by my friends to get Hinge, but it's...
Watch 100 plus channels and enjoy cable-free live TV with YouTube TV. Terms apply. Cancel anytime.
not...
Whoops. Sorry, guys. I fucked up the... My bad, Eric. Go ahead. Continue.
But, yeah, I don't really like it, so I'm probably going to be deleting it.
Why didn't you like it?
Well, I just don't really like dating apps because I feel like if you meet someone on it, I
Move
just
the
have this...
microphone, like that way, a little closer to you. There you go.
It's just like I fear, like I hate meeting someone and then there's no chemistry there. So I just feel like dating apps are just pointless in that way because like how do you know if this is someone for you if you've like never met them in person? Like you'll never know if there's chemistry. So I just feel like it's, yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
For that reason.
That makes sense. Yeah, I'm single. Longest relationship, 1.5 years. Currently not on any dating apps, but homie Grace, possibly going to hook it up with the right stuff. We'll see.
That's you.
So just really quick, show of hands. Who's currently single? What?
So that literally everybody at the table?
Besides her who's married.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, I stick out.
Congratulations on your success.
Yeah, thanks, I guess.
You guess?
Well, I meant like, I don't know that I would like come running to me for marriage advice, but you know, I'm here for you guys. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you'll host the rest of the podcast. So, as the sole person who's married and in a relationship. So, okay, so of those of you who said you were single, you might be single, but are you currently sort of seeing somebody, if you catch my drift? Hensley?
Probably a few people by your terms.
You're seeing a few people.
How many is a few?
Yeah. A baker's dozen?
Like half that.
Of a baker's dozen? How is that 13?
It's like you're
I think
seeing
that's 13.
Six and a half dudes. So like 6 normal dudes, 1 midget.
What the fuck?
I do have a crush on a midget currently. Yeah.
Okay, so I called it. There
Male
you go.
4.5. We'll go 4.5.
Male or female dwarf? I think dwarf is the politically correct
Are they
term.
a jockey?
I think they like little people.
I think, yeah, now
Yeah,
it's
now it's
little
people.
person,
It's
little people.
evolving.
My apologies to all the short kings out there. Wait, is a baker's dozen 13?
I think a
Yeah.
baker's dozen is 13.
Yes.
Wait, so, but how many people are you actually
I'm not seeing a lot. I'm just going on dates with people.
just
Kind of thing.
going on dates?
Yeah.
Okay. Any go-go dancers or?
He has not returned.
Okay, got it.
I'm not seeing anybody currently or dating anybody at all. No.
Okay.
Nope.
You work at a bar though, right?
Yeah, I'm like, why are we still looking at me? Yes.
You're a bartender, correct?
Mhm.
So I mean, don't you have a bunch of suitors hitting on you while you're working, or?
Yes.
But.
I mean, just because they hit on me doesn't mean I'm gonna.
Well, yeah,
date
of
them.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But
I want to be single.
you want to be single. Why is that?
Because I was in a relationship for like 3 years, and then I said I was going to be single, and then I got into a 2-year-long relationship right after, and I have 1 year of college left, and I want to experience my 20s single and not in a relationship for the past 5 years, basically. Like, I need to be alone for a little bit.
Okay. Breezy, can we just actually have you pull your chair in just a little bit, just so you're.
Yeah,
closer?
sorry. I
And
faded
then
back.
I guess we skip over you because you're married.
Yeah,
How
I
long-
kind of see the
How
same
long have you been
person.
married?
We got married in 2017.
2017.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we just hit 5 years this year.
How's that? Is it
Oh.
good? It's going well? or-
Yeah, it's going, I feel like at 5 years and 1 child in, now that, a little bit of couples therapy sprinkled in there and like a babysitter every now and again, it's like, shit's great. It's just great.
What was the couples therapy for?
Dude, it's hard to be. I think that's more because we've been together for 13 years. Like when we got
Yeah.
together, I was like most of these beautiful ladies' ages. Like I was 21, 22, and he was like 5 years older. And it's like you change a lot between then and being in your 30s. And if you become a mom, that changes a lot too. So.
Who initiated the request to have couples therapy, you or him? Or was it kind of a mutual?
I feel like it was a mutual conclusion.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a good point though, because I think that it could like kind of feel sensitive to people to have to be the one that asks.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
What advice would you give to yourself when you first met him?
Good question.
Dude, okay, specifically for me, like I unfortunately lost my mom when I was 16, so when I met him, I kind of had like a heap of maybe like trauma from loss that I didn't really recognize was there. And so if I could have gone back and been like, hey, try and like find that trauma inside of you, I'm sorry, and you know, deal with some of that because it'll come in eventually, you know. So yeah, I would have loved to have dealt with that before I met someone that would become my like forever person.
And what about right when you guys got married? What advice would you give to yourself 5 years ago?
Fuck, bro, I don't know. Just like try and keep shit lively and be real honest with each other and, you know, have fun.
Solid.
Yeah.
So you're single, but are you currently seeing somebody?
Seeing a few people casually.
A few people casually.
We got some players on the bench. Yeah.
Oh shit!
You got a roster, Tatum?
We got a roster lined up a little bit.
Okay. So when you say a few people, what? 4, 5? What? How much are we talking?
Like maybe 3 right now that I
Maybe
would
3.
consider maybe casually. Yeah.
Okay.
So not that many, right?
And when you said casually dating,
Mhm.
what do you mean by that?
Like keeping it casual. Like I see him like once or twice a week. We go on some dates. Nothing super serious. We aren't having like those serious conversations, like boyfriend girlfriend conversations or anything like that.
Okay. But you guys are hooking up. You're hooking up with.
Well, so that's a yes.
Kinda, sorta.
Do they know?
Do they know about each other?
Yeah, well, because we have we communicate in that sense where we both know we're both seeing each other like casually and stuff like that. So we know that it's casual for sure between the two of us. So.
Cool.
And is there one that stands out to you in particular that you want to potentially proceed with, or are you happy with your bench? I think, was that the term you used? What was it, bench or roster?
Yeah, roster.
Yeah.
Yes, but I don't know. I'm not somebody, I don't know if I want to get married. I don't know if that's like a priority to me quite yet. I'm still trying to navigate through that. So I don't know if I'm really looking for anything serious right now. So.
Do you want kids?
Eventually, probably.
Okay. But no marriage.
I don't know. I'm like still trying to navigate through it and everything.
Okay. All right.
I'm single and I'm not seeing anybody.
Okay. And so you said you do OnlyFans. And are you also in the porn industry? Or
No,
just like
OnlyFans.
solo OnlyFans stuff?
I do collaborations with like my friends.
Okay.
Sometimes.
What does that mean?
Like girlfriends, guy friends, both?
Just girlfriends.
Just girlfriends?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're bi or?
I'm gay for pay.
I see. Okay, you're gay for pay. Okay. And how's the, I don't know if you're comfortable sharing, but like, how's the OnlyFans going?
Really great. I've been doing it since before COVID. A lot of people started it during the pandemic. I started in the adult industry when I was 18 as a cam girl, so...
How much were you making when you were a cam girl?
I was making a pretty good amount for an 18-year-old. Before that, I was working at McDonald's since I was 16.
Yeah.
So...
What's a pretty good amount? Like, how much is that? If you don't mind sharing.
I won't say the exact amount, but I'm doing pretty well.
Like
and at the time, I was doing really good.
4 figures weekly, 5 figures weekly?
No, not that much.
Okay.
5 figures a month?
Yes.
Okay. Rock and roll. Okay.
Wait, have you seen any guys since you started this career?
Like, have I been with any guys?
Like, have you dated any guys?
Well, I was in a 7-year relationship that ended in March. So I never did like boy-girl collaborations for OnlyFans.
That wasn't really where I was going. I was just curious, like,
Oh.
if he had like any thoughts on it. Like, did he like it? Did he not mind? Did he
that
dislike
I was
it?
doing OnlyFans?
Yeah.
I think it took him a little while to get used to, because he knew me before it, but yeah.
So you guys were dating, was that even before you started doing cam girl stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did you share any of your revenue with him? Like, was he taking photos for you, or how did that work?
Yeah, he would be in some of my videos, and I would not give him a penny.
You would not give him a penny?
No. Why would I?
Shafted. Why didn't you want to pay him? He was like doing work.
I mean, he was gonna do it anyway, and why would you not want to like help your girl out and like, you know? What?
Go on, Chase.
I mean, I personally wouldn't like do that in a relationship, but if I was your boyfriend and if I didn't have the same value system that I have, like I'd be like, yo, like cough it up, come on.
Yeah.
Like I'm putting in work here, you know?
I didn't force him, you know, and to each their own, so.
Sounds like you kind of worked him.
Well, it is what it is. I don't know what to say.
Okay, we'll get more into that a bit later. Go ahead.
I got out of a serious relationship about a year ago, and since then, I've only been on 2 dates, and that was back in January. I am not seeing anybody right now. I've been very career focused, so that's been my goal.
And so you were on the show last show on Tuesday, and you said that you were waiting for marriage to be intimate with a new partner, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
But you had been in the past. So you said you're not a virgin, right?
Correct.
Okay. So do you think it's going to be difficult to find a partner that's going to be willing to wait?
No, because if we are chasing the same path of, we're pursuing God, which is ultimately my goal, and if he's pursuing God, then he's going to have the same feelings towards that, and ultimately I want to find a man of faith who is chasing purity, and in order to have that purity, you're chasing God. So it goes hand in hand with two of those. And,
I mean, Chase is sort of similar to you in this sense, in that, I mean, Chase, if you want to share.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saving myself for my future wife for the past 2 years. Same thing, not going to sleep with, my future partner before we get married. Going to try my absolute best not to, at least.
Yeah, see, there's people out there that do that.
It's rare, though, here in California.
California, yeah.
And but you also, Chase, you're not a virgin.
Correct. Yeah.
Do you regret not being a virgin?
Honestly, I don't really. I mean, it's a sin, and like I'm grateful for Jesus' forgiveness of those sins. I'll regret it if the woman that I want to marry is like, I won't marry somebody who's not a virgin. Like then I'll regret it. But,
sure.
I mean, I haven't slept with a lot of women relative to guys our age. My number's under 10, but but I know my way around a woman's body, and in that sense, like I don't regret it.
Word. Okay. Got it. I guess my whole question with that is that can you really, and I guess this is a question to both of you, can you really, since you haven't maintained your virtue, virginity. Your virginity. Like my question is why wait now? Since you've already crossed that threshold, does that make sense? Like why? I'm not criticizing you guys, but I'm just curious. Like, why wait since you've already crossed the threshold?
I'll start. I'm sure she has a different answer, but like that's like once I got serious about my walk with God, like I realized first off, by not continuing to fornicate, that's something that I could do to honor Him, and second, that's something that I can save for my future wife. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I want to save that for my future wife, because for me, like when I have sex with a woman that I love, like I form a very deep bond to her, and I don't want to form those bonds with women that I'm not going to make my wife. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like I can feel that within me still from like previous partners, and I don't want that.
Okay.
Yeah, ultimately the reason we're doing it is to honor God, and sex outside of marriage, it's ultimately sin. Sex in marriage, that is what God intended for it to be. And to experience that type of sex with your husband, who you've committed yourself to, it is going to be such a strong bond versus somebody I've just been dating for a few weeks. I don't know if I'll be with them for the rest of my life. There's just not that intimacy that you're going to find in your marriage. And ultimately, that's what I want in my future husband and for us when we get married. So until then, I am focusing on my work, myself. There's no need to partake in any sexual activity outside of the marriage. And if I'm dating somebody, we're going to set boundaries together. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to establish, what's okay, what's not okay, and how to approach it. But ultimately, we'll go to God about it, and He'll guide us through it. So that's how I feel on it.
Cheers to that. It's a good
Cheers.
answer.
So I want to, just on this note, and then we will continue along the panel with the previous question. You guys heard all that. Has it made you want to wait until marriage, Hensley? To
Absolutely. I
have
think
sex
that-
the next
I
time?
think that convinced me.
You're convinced?
Oh, yeah.
Cap.
What about you? What do you think of that? Like, what do you think about waiting until marriage to have sex?
I mean, I think they could obviously do what they want. It's not going to hurt nobody if that's what they want to do, so they can
Mhm.
go ahead and do that. I personally don't think it's an intelligent choice, and I would never do that, but if there's people out there who think that's what the Lord above wants them to do, and that's their business and not mine. But I will not be doing that, no. I'm not saying that you need to sleep with somebody on the first night, but some people, sex isn't a big part of a relationship, but I personally think that's a big part of connecting with somebody, and I'm not going to marry somebody without knowing how that's going to go, because a marriage is serious. That's a lot of money, that's a lot of paperwork, that's a lot, and I don't know. I get maybe waiting a year or a couple years, making sure you're very devoted to them, but I don't think it's smart to wait for something that important until marriage.
Magic Eraser. It's a game changer, and I'll tell you why. I used my finger, and in 4 seconds, I clicked erase. Amazing. My name is Jesse, and I'm a Google Pixel.
Yeah, I mean, I'm married. I didn't wait, but it sounds like neither of you is saying that you have waited from the side of being total virgins either. I actually think that's pretty interesting. I've never really thought too much about it, how that you could maybe come to that conclusion after, but I totally hear what you're saying. It's like a deep connection you form with people, so yeah, to each their own. I mean, whatevs.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think we all respect your guys' views on it. I guess, can I ask a question? Do you guys find it hard to find a woman or a man that has the same values as you do in regards to sex before marriage?
Ultimately, I'm giving it over to God, and I'm just asking Him to bless me with a man in my life. So it's not like I'm going to go out there and just actively seek him, is he under the rock? I don't know. I think God will bring him to me. So I put my faith and trust in Him.
Wait, did you say you were on dating apps?
I was, yeah.
You were? Oh, that's right, for a hot second.
I downloaded it for 2 days, and I was like, I don't like dating apps, delete it. So, yeah.
Okay.
Frustration right away.
Yeah, it's totally challenging, especially here in California. Like,
Yeah.
very, very few girls feel similarly about all this as I do.
Wait, did you say you're on dating apps? Sorry, I'm...
No, but
he's on Christian Mingle.
Are you really?
No, I'm
Farmers
not,
only.
I'm not.
Farmers
I'm
only.
actually
Chase?
on Amish only.
Ah, okay.
And Mennonites only.
Oh,
No,
nice.
Farmersonly.com?
Yeah. No,
It's a good one.
I'm not on any, but like I was telling Grace, I'm on the waiting list for the right stuff because it's for conservatives and stuff. And I'm like, as I told Brian, a right-wing extremist. So
Jesus. He's kidding. He's kidding.
But yeah, no, it's challenging. Like most girls around here like don't share similar beliefs at all.
Yeah.
So it's weird because it's like a deal breaker for me. So.
Well, yeah, obviously that's very important to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Nicolette, would you wait until marriage to have with your next partner? What do you think?
I feel like I'm about to burst into flames right now. Surprisingly, I actually grew up in a conservative Christian family. I don't necessarily hold myself to their beliefs exactly, but I did go to Sunday school, growing up. So I respect that decision. Do I hold myself to that same standard or expectation? No, but I respect people who do, and I don't judge them. I don't think it's weird. I don't think it's anything to make fun of. I think it's actually really cool. So.
Do you feel like growing up in a conservative Christian household kind of made you want to like rebel against that as you got older?
Maybe, I don't know.
It's something I notice with a lot of people who grow up in households like that. Like if it's like really overbearing, they just hate it and they're like, fuck all of that. Like I'm going to go in the opposite direction when I get older.
I don't know. I just like attention.
Okay, so moving on. So, what was the fucking question?
What do you think about our
What I think
perspective
about
on
it.
it? Yeah.
I am waiting, so I completely
Virgin?
agree. Yeah.
Okay.
And you're a Christian too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Which, yeah, I've gotten a lot of, I mean, that's, yeah, my decision. My parents never told me you had to do that. It's just something I wanted to do for myself. And it hasn't been easy to do that, and I, was called a prude growing up a lot, honestly. But I grew up to just decide that's what I wanted to do, and I have no regrets about that. And I do go on dates, and I don't just like sit in my house and not. I do get asked out and things like that, but I just haven't found what I'm looking for. So
Have you had guys try and pressure you out of that conviction?
Yes. Yeah.
Was it ever challenging to say no, or was it easy?
Yes.
Oh, question.
Yeah.
Let's say you're 39 and it just hasn't happened yet.
Uh-huh.
Let's say, or even 40, 45. But you want to have, oh shit. I was going to say, you want to have kids, right? You want to have kids?
Yeah.
Okay. But all the guys, they want to have sex, but they don't want to wait till marriage. But you want to have a family and want to have kids. Are you willing at that point to potentially bend on your values in order to secure a family and children? Or is it just at that point it's like the nunnery for me? Or like what happens in that situation?
Good question.
And that very well likely might not happen, but just,
I pray to God that won't happen.
Okay.
And I would say no, I wouldn't bend my values for a guy. I actually ended the last relationship I was in because of that. We disagreed on that, and it was hard, and I just, I wouldn't. I actually do want to get married, and I think that being younger, that's actually something that is important to me. So I have found some good guys that understand, but a lot of times it doesn't get to that point where we have that discussion. So.
But theoretically,
if I'm 39,
it could just never happen for you. Like, let's say you're 50 and it just doesn't happen. Are you just going to be like, all right, I guess I can fuck now?
I'm trusting in God's plan. I actually really believe that, I don't know how I want to say it, but I feel like if God puts a desire in your heart to be married, I believe that you will. I believe that the right guy's out there for me. I just have pretty high standards, and there's some things I will not bend on.
What are your high standards?
He has to be conservative. We have to have the same values.
Okay.
And I've met a lot of those in San Diego, but we actually differ on some things. A lot of military guys, actually, that ask me out. But we differ on certain things that I don't think I can say on this podcast. But
what? You can probably say it.
Okay.
You can say it.
Okay.
It's called whatever.
It's called whatever.
I'm just pretty specific on I want a man that has not taken the jab, and
oh yeah, okay, maybe we
that's
should.
really important to me.
Okay.
So a lot of
Sure.
guys in San Diego, military guys. It's actually really sad. I'll just say this: I'm really attracted to men, like strong men, policemen, like military guys, and that's not going to work for me. So, and I will not budge on that. And
You're
please
shaking
back
your
me up.
head. So what's going through your mind right now?
Can we clarify what that means, like a little bit at least? Like, can we use some
okay.
innuendos here? Like, I have no idea what that means.
Whether or not they've taken the COVID
vac-
juice, the
Oh,
COVID
God.
immunity juice.
Yeah, I am pretty particular on that.
Yeah, I was thinking,
Because-
something way worse.
Oh,
my
okay,
god,
no.
I'm glad
Yeah.
we clarified that.
Okay.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's I'll just back Grace up. It's a non-negotiable for a lot of us.
The jab.
In which, can I ask in which sense?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's actually, I didn't honestly think I would have
I
to
don't know,
clarify
well,
that, but I feel like
I'll keep it vague
Yeah,
to
yeah.
protect
Now we're-
his channel.
I didn't want to say it.
So
I'll keep
you
it-
already answered.
I'll keep it vague to protect his channel. There's issues with early mortality, and there's also issues with fertility that are
That's
coming
not
up.
what I was asking, but by you saying that, you answered my question.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know how I got there.
It's all good, but okay.
Yeah, it's
so
what
you
your
said
high standards
you
were.
want a strong
my high
guy.
standards,
You
yeah.
want someone that
A guy
has
that's-
not been
He's pure-blooded.
inoculated or whatever.
Yes.
Okay, so you said you had very high standards. What are some of the
Other
other?
high standards.
By the way, we do have a girl here who is in pharmaceutical sales. So
Okay.
Yes.
Totally.
I don't know why. I don't know why I brought
I
that
love
up.
friendly
but-
debate.
Just
No,
because I sell in pharmaceuticals
Yeah.
doesn't mean that I know a whole lot about the jab, y'all.
Okay.
I just
I welcome friendly debate. I love it. So.
Anyways, we'll move on from the COVID stuff.
Okay.
But so okay.
Yeah.
Conservative.
Yeah.
Didn't that? Strong man, like physically
Yeah.
strong.
Yes.
His strong constitution of character.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tall.
Yeah.
Wealthy.
No, he doesn't have to be wealthy. He has to have vision. He has to be a Christian. I missed that one. That's really important to me. But I will say this. Just because he's a Christian, I've met a lot of Christian guys, and it doesn't mean that they really follow their faith.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually really important to me because I've dated Christian guys, and I am not just a Christian girl over here that's like, oh yeah, okay, you're a Christian, I'm going to date you. No, like I really want to see your faith, your character, and just how you lead your life. And they don't have to be perfect. He doesn't have to be a virgin, actually, to me. I've actually met some, it's kind of weird, yeah, well, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, so high standards, but yeah.
A traditionally masculine Chad, basically,
Yes.
who follows God.
Yes.
Hey, Eric. I think the thing's on mute. The audio. Can you just hit the top mute button on the keyboard? Or push the volume up to 80. I don't know. My soundboard must be.
Shout out to the bras in the chat.
I don't know, man. Okay, that's weird. Go ahead.
Which question am I answering?
Yeah.
The original question or
Yeah.
the response to?
Let's move on. What to the original question? You're single, dumb. What's going on with that?
I've been going on dates, but none of them really go past the first date because I don't plan on dating again unless he's husband material. So you typically know like really quickly whether that's the case or not.
Are you saving yourself for marriage, or not?
I'm saving myself for my future husband. I don't know if that means though that I'm gonna be, because I don't know where I feel like. Well, I don't plan on having sex with anyone until I'm dating them, and I don't plan on dating someone until I see them as husband material. So I could end up. So that's a no until like my wedding day. I'm not saving myself for my wedding day, but I'm saving myself for
The one
until
that you
I'm
want to
with
marry.
someone, yeah, who I plan to marry.
Gotcha.
So,
Cool.
you said you're 21, right?
Yes.
So, are you wanting to get married young, like fairly soon?
I mean, I'll get married whenever it happens, right? Like, I'm not, yeah, it's just whatever's planned for, I guess. So I don't really, it's more like if I meet someone and it's obvious this person is who I'm supposed to be with, then I'll be with them. I'm not going to be like, I'm 21, I need to, like, have my young days doing something without you in it. Because I feel like finding someone who's a good lifelong partner is super rare, and I don't plan to have it be, like, an easy thing to do. So if I do find them, then I don't plan on, like, losing them for the sake of my youth or something.
Totally.
Okay, rock and roll. We're going to do a couple soup chats, and then I'm going to get into my next question. So, Eric, actually, before I do soup chats, can you pull up the Twitch just so I can mention that again real quick?
The apocalypse is coming.
Knock at the cabin.
All right. Just a reminder, guys, if you have Amazon Prime, please consider giving us dropping a Prime sub and drop us a follow, guys. Twitch.tv/whatever. Anyways, super chats. We got, let's see. We got Red here, the $10 super chat. Thank you. Appreciate the support. Ladies, length or girth? Bruv.
Girth.
Yeah. Why? Okay, we'll go around the table on that, Hensley. Length or girth?
Girth. Combination? I mean, what do you mean? Like, okay, it's
either tree stump or like a long tree branch.
Oh God. Neither then. That's what I'm saying. Like, girth matters too. Okay, I'll go with that one.
Yeah, I feel like there's a balance here. but yeah, I mean, like, I probably if it was really like long and skinny, it might be fucking weird. So let's go girth.
Wow. Okay. Go ahead.
It's the motion of the ocean, babes.
Okay, there we go.
Really, I mean, good balance always, but both.
Yeah, good balance.
I'm not going to answer that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't like talking about my sex life, but latter maybe.
All right. I guess we have to frame it for us, Chase. Innie or outie labia?
What?
You know, there's like
What
innies
is-
and outies.
what is an
you know?
innie?
Like a belly button?
No, like
Any is any like it's nice and tight and like
Hmm?
up there like
no, the labia is the lips.
yeah, but what is how does an innie work?
Okay, there's innies and then there's outies.
I mean, I guess any. Yeah, any sounds nice.
All right, I'm gonna go with outie on this one. But
Yeah, you like those beef curtains, bro.
How dare you, sir?
This is when you.
How dare you?
This is when you say
use
guilty
that-
as charged.
Guilty as charged.
Yep.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta say, I'm a fan of outies. DM me, whatever. But you know what? I don't think either gender should be shamed for the way they're born with their genitalia. Men shouldn't be shamed if they got a small schlong, and women shouldn't be shamed if they got outies, large labia.
You're really an artist. Can you just paint it for me a little bit more? Like if a naked woman was standing in the room right now.
You want me to
how would I know
articulate-
if she has
Basically-
an innie or
God.
an outie?
You want me to articulate
I mean, I'm just
what
like,
an outie is?
I'm a visual learner, so I'm not gonna I don't know. It feels like I'm just curious to know the full picture here, Brian.
I mean, it's hard to precisely articulate it. So you have the labia minora and the labia majora.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm bringing you back to health class in 7th grade here.
I
So-
do have a vagina. I'm familiar with the
Yes.
territory.
So basically the lips, they're, how do you even articulate what an outie is?
Basically,
Nicolette, help me out here. I know you're dying to, come on, you know.
I think that
You know.
both types are just beautiful.
Yeah, both are great. Both
Yeah.
are good. But
But like
you know.
from across the room, though, like
What do you mean?
Would it be like obvious to me which is which?
It could be. There could be a bit of a dangle.
There we go. That's what I was
A
looking
little-
for. There's
Little dangle.
Okay. So I don't have to necessarily get real close to know. Okay, that's.
But yeah, no, it is unfortunate that that women get shamed for it if they have an outie. Women are not shamed for innies, but they're shamed for outies. And we need to start a movement. That's what I'm doing with my organization to combat the shaming, because like 10K, holy shit, wait, can someone catch the surfboard?
puppy dog. Come here. Come here.
Tuck it in like how it was before. Jesus.
I think we should go around the table then if we're gonna go.
And ask the girls if
Innie
they have
and
outies?
outie.
And
No.
ask them if they have outies?
Ask
That is a
them.
great recommendation,
No,
Nicolette.
and
I like where your
ask
head's
them-
at.
That's not where I'm going.
Okay, so go ahead.
And ask them, cut or uncut.
We can do that. We can do that.
That's an interesting question.
That's a great question.
Starting with
We're
you.
gonna what?
Reverse
wait,
the order.
What,
Starting with
Which
what
do you
he
prefer?
prefers.
what I prefer
Yeah, which do you prefer in your boyfriends, Brian?
in my gay
Or which are
pape.
you yourself, right? I mean, you could just go with that. Dealer's choice, I guess.
What? You want me to
So
disclose
basically
my?
This only applies to you.
Wait, what is the question? What?
Are you cut or uncut?
I mean, I'll just say this: I want my foreskin back. That shit was taken from me. Like,
Okay, so
I didn't have a say in it. It's fucked up.
Yeah, I think we should do away with circumcision. To be honest, it's
Man mutilating.
it is. It is.
This
And-
is an important point, actually. It's like so weird that it's still around because it originated as it started out as the covenant between Abraham and God in the Jewish religion, and it was only meant to be between, Jews and God, and somehow it's become this society-wide thing. What'd you say?
Maybe even more specifically, just the one guy and God.
Well, it was like with each successive generation, that was how they kept their covenant. But it's like a society-wide thing now for no reason.
Well,
yeah. I mean, I think now it's transitioned from having a religious basis to just something they do in hospitals because it's like deemed as like clean or like, which is bullshit,
They probably charge your insurance more. I mean,
yeah,
probably.
I think I do think that I mean, I am circumcised, but I think as a practice it should be done away with just because just barely born boys cannot give their
No choice.
informed consent to
Dude, you're literally
being,
cutting off the tip
yeah, it's
of your
mutilation.
newborn's dick.
Yeah,
Like,
it's terrible.
Right, but
it's
then
awful.
when you get older, aren't you out for a whole month? Like nothing. Like you can't have. Are we allowed to say?
Well,
divorce?
What do you mean?
Like
well,
when you get older, if you're uncircumcised.
Oh, and you
and
want
you
to
decide
get it?
to get circumcised. Let's say you decide. Let's say you're
Well,
both
yes.
uncircumcised right now, right? And then you decide to get circumcised.
Why would someone want to do that?
Good question.
Okay, just a
Why?
theoretically.
Okay.
If it were to happen.
I mean, you would be out for a while. Yeah.
For a month,
Yeah,
right?
it would.
I don't know.
I suppose it would be
terribly painful.
Worse when you're an adult, but it should probably. There are some instances where there's like something wrong with the foreskin or something where it's medically indicated, but that's exceedingly rare. Where there's like, it's painful upon erection.
Really?
If you have foreskin, very rare. Yes, something like the. Look into it, but it.
Rip.
Anyways, yeah, something like it's painful when they get erections. I don't know, but that's very rare, and it's not a reason why at birth, boy shouldn't be circumcised. But
we should move on. From
yeah,
the
let's.
foreskin
Yeah,
question.
I don't know what the fuck.
We talked about outies and innies for a while.
Yeah.
That
I
one
would've-
was for the girlies.
I would have preferred to
que-
avoid both.
Yeah.
personally.
So on this one though, is it a wrap for you? Let's say you really like a guy, but first time you're hooking up, and he's not really particularly impressive in the bulge department. Is it a wrap?
No. What does impressive mean?
Like, let's say it's below average in size.
As long if I can't, if we're going at it and it's not like it's a every 2 seconds I'm like, why is this thing like this? Then no, I don't care. But if it's like you can't work with it either, then it's not gonna work probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's when you're like, are you gonna hit this or what? But it's more about motion of the ocean.
What?
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
Okay. You said motion of the ocean,
Yeah,
right?
she's right. Yeah.
Nicolette, what about you?
I think that if they're not impressive, that they should be really good at like foreplay.
Okay. Als dies?
I mean, I agree with ladies. Yep.
What?
Praise God.
Praise Jesus. Okay. Go ahead.
I will find out.
Okay. Tara? Did I say it right this time?
No, you didn't. You messed up again. It's
Ter-
Tara.
It's Tara.
Tara and Austies, bro.
You know, I got a story about this one time. I was seeing this girl named Kara. In any case, after we hook up, I asked her for clarification on how to pronounce her name. You know, because I'm a gentleman.
Yeah. After.
And needless to say, there was not a second date because I knew her name. I knew it was Kara or Kara. It's not like I was like, is it Gertrude, huh? But I was like, what's the pronunciation? And she's like, she was deeply offended.
You knew it by text.
So there was, anyways. So sorry. Tara? Wait, Tara? Sorry, bro. Bro, it's hard. We got like, okay.
It's like Sarah.
Tara.
Just think Sarah. Tara.
Sarah Tara.
Tara.
Okay, thank you.
We need little name tags next time.
Yeah.
Just like
It's in the works.
Ousties and Tara.
It's in the works. Okay. Did you give your? Did you go?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, by that point, I would have already decided if this is someone I'm like serious about and dating. So, but that's why I don't want to completely wait until marriage, because I think an important part of a healthy marriage is good sexual chemistry. So I'll wait until I've decided this is one I want to take seriously and I think is like worth having a relationship with, and then I'll see there. And if there's no sexual chemistry, that is a deal breaker for me. So I probably wouldn't pursue marriage with this person, unless of course they were just really special and amazing.
Okay, follow-up question on this. Great guy, meets all your non-sexual criteria, but he has a micro penis, Hensley. Is it a wrap? Is it a wrap?
Not if he's good in other ways.
Yes. I said something about a strong jaw last time. Like, does he chew a lot of gum? I'm just going to go with that again.
Okay, moving on. Go ahead.
Yeah, it'd probably be a wrap.
Okay, Nicolette.
How small is micro? Like 2 inches?
No, micro is like this,
Like micro.
Really? Like,
I think. I don't know what, there's probably a medical.
is there a range here? Is there a spectrum?
There is a micro.
I
such
don't
a
know.
thing.
It's probably a rub.
obviously I married my husband for him, not his penis. So I'm gonna love him with whatever he has.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
It's a wholesome answer.
All right, boys, if you have a micro peen, her DMs are open. Okay.
No, you got to be a Christian. No.
Oh, and Christian.
Christian boys.
Christian with the micro peen. Okay. Go ahead.
Actually, yeah, it would be a wrap because I want a man that's a man. So.
What? Oh,
shit!
Shots fired.
I mean, I do think I can wait and still know what I want. So.
But you wouldn't see his.
Until you're married, though. So
you're married.
I think you have
Yeah.
like
You, like,
72
divorce
hours.
him? If he has a micro penis? I
The
know.
back door
So
can
what
tell.
do you do there?
No, I will say I think that, and actually, Chase, you said something about this before, where it's like, you, even as a Christian, like, we're not perfect, so it is really hard. Like, and I haven't been perfect in terms of, like, I've never fully had sex with a guy, but there's
partially
other.
had sex with a guy?
No.
Back
Like, there's
door,
other things,
or-
like, when you're like making out, whatever, etc. So, yeah, I don't know, but
Annul that shit.
Annulment. That's what I was looking for. But wait, okay, you said you want a guy who's a man.
yeah.
Well, can't a guy who has a micropenis be just as much of a man as?
I don't
What-
know.
what
yes,
is
I
his-
guess.
Brian, yes.
That's what I'm getting at. But
I don't know. I really don't know.
what you don't know?
I mean, I feel
To be
like
honest-
well, I know it's an important thing, like in your
What?
like in your marriage.
To be honest,
But-
like the kind of guy she's describing sounds like your stereotypically high testosterone dude. If he's law enforcement, military, anything like that,
Mhm.
the presence of the hormone testosterone in the male body causes growth of the penis. So if you have like a dude who's like a man, like a man's man, he's probably not going to have a super tiny dick.
Not if he's roided up, though.
That's
Yeah, I
true.
wouldn't want
And
that.
that's what
That's
half of
true.
those manly men's are. And
Yeah,
that's
no,
why
that's
they
not
have
good.
the shield.
I mean, it's
So-
plausible that there's a man who's in one of those fields, or who has high testosterone, that also has a micro penis. I would imagine there's some police officer out there somewhere. Maybe he's not like on the patrol, but he's doing desk duty.
Why wouldn't he be on patrol? Why wouldn't he be
What?
on patrol, Brian?
No, I don't
I
want
don't
the. I don't know.
Just creating this like very fringe example here. But okay, anyways, moving on from the wait.
No.
what-
I want to say the answer is, I'm with Ousties. I think that God's got it under control. I don't think I need to practice before, and I do value health really highly in myself and in the future, the person that I want. So hormone health, everything. I think that that's really important for marriage. So,
Sure.
yeah.
All right, let me get these other soup chats. We got Brandon here in the chat. Salad City Rebel. Thank you for the $10 soup chat, man. Thank you for the support. 10 appearances on the show, Chase, and you haven't asked anyone if they would like to accept Christ into their life The Lord's will compels it. Chase, your response?
I mean, dude, like, if I have the opportunity, I'll totally ask. I don't want to impose on Brian
What?
the process of converting somebody, though.
What?
Bringing somebody to Jesus.
Have you converted people?
Yeah, I brought a lot of my friends to Christ.
I just burst into flames right now.
I feel the heat.
Hey, Brandon, thank you, man. Appreciate it. We have Schaefer Meister.
That's my buddy Jordan.
What's up, Jordan? Thank you for the $10 super chat. Appreciate the support. What's up, boys? Would love to come on the pod sometime soon. Question for the girls: rich man, small PP, or large PP, poor as hell? What's up with all the peen questions tonight?
God, really peeing on the mind.
Sounds like a fetish to me. Hit the cash app.
Okay, so
I was like really
trying to move away.
I'm conflicted because that's my boy, but also like I've
You
had
don't wanna
enough
talk
talk
about
of
the
the
peen
genitals
shit?
tonight. Like, you can ask them if you want, bro. It's up to you.
If he's your friend, we're allowed to veto it, though, right?
I guess, yeah.
His money, bro. Are you gonna pay him back?
Just quick impressions. Quick impressions.
Okay,
Rich man, small penis.
Rich man
poor
or
man, huge dong.
Okay, go for it.
Rich man.
Next.
What?
I can't think.
I mean, I'm already with a man, baby. I don't
If
need
you
the
weren't,
same.
if you weren't.
Let's say you were talking to a guy and you're really interested in him, and you wanted to angle for a relationship. You wanted exclusivity with him. One of his conditions for exclusivity was that you stop going out and partying. Do you accept that, or do you say, hey, you're not going to control me, I'm going to do my own thing, I'm going to go party, take it or leave it? Go ahead.
Personally, I wouldn't accept that just because I think a huge part of partying, at least for me, is going out with my friends. Like, I love going out with my friends, my guy friends, my girlfriends. It's just always a fun night, like, no matter where we go. Even if we don't find a party, it's just the whole spending time with them and just bonding. I mean, we hang out outside of partying too, but I think that would make me a little bit upset because he's taking away time from my friends. But I understand if my kind of goal going into partying was, oh, I'm going to go to this party, I'm going to find a guy. I understand that, but for me personally, I party with my friends, so.
Okay. What about you?
I would say, I mean, definitely.
Can you tilt the microphone down just slightly? Yeah.
Well, if it's like a condition that you have to, I would say no. But at the same time, like, I would be down to probably like, hang out with like my boyfriend or the guy I'm talking to instead of like going out on Friday night. But it can't be like every Friday night I'm just gonna give up having fun with my friends and like just for a guy. Like, no. Probably
No, I do not listen to men.
Let's go into. You don't listen to men.
No, why am I going to? Even if he is my boyfriend, am I going to marry him? I'm 21. I don't think I'm going to marry him. So if I want to go out with my friends and party, I'm going to go out with my friends and party. I really don't care if he's telling me not to go, because 9 times out of 10, he's probably going to bars and party and is probably partying with his friends. So I'm guessing that exception is probably just for me. Is he also gonna is that not allowed for him either? Is he also gonna go party, or is that just for me?
He's not gonna. He doesn't party.
Then maybe.
Okay.
Aw, she's full of shit.
Okay,
This girl's
if it's the same
this
way,
girl's full of shit.
if it's the same way, and if he's not gonna go party, then maybe it depends how much I like him.
You just want to be loved.
Yeah, I do want to be loved, but I'm not gonna go make these exceptions for a guy. To be honest,
Yeah,
that's not. I'm 21.
He's not telling you.
I just.
Hold on. He's not telling you to accept some like abusive standard. He's saying you're dating a guy. He's like, yeah, I don't go out and drink. Could you not go out and drink too? You're like, well, I don't let men tell me what to do. Like,
Well,
it's
yeah,
not like
because
that.
if he's already trying to control what I'm doing and who I'm going out with, what I'm doing in my free time, that might be the start of something toxic, and I don't want to put myself in that situation.
Let's just.
I'm
before we-
21 years old. I just became the legal age to go out to bars If a man is telling me, I'm sorry, no, you can't go out and drink with your friends, I'm sorry, but you're not the man for me. And I immediately would lose that interest because I'm sorry, but I'm my own person. I have free will, and I don't think I would really love somebody enough to just be like, drop everything and just listen to them. I am my own person.
Natasha, were you going to respond or?
No, wait.
Okay, so, well, I'll address it really quick. Why not? We can address it really quick since it's interesting. So, you said that you wouldn't change any of your behaviors when you get into a relationship, but isn't part of a relationship you do change certain things? For example, you no longer sleep with other people, assuming you're in a monogamous relationship.
Obviously, yeah, I think it's best to grow. When you're in a relationship, if you're benefiting and you're growing in a relationship, good. But if you are unhappy and if you're not happy, like staying home with your man and you would rather be partying, break up with him. Don't be with him, because if you'd rather be partying, go do that. You're not committed to be stay-at-home girlfriend with your man and just listen to your man. Because is that man providing for me financially? Probably not. Does he have a ring? Did he put a ring on my finger? Probably not. Is he gonna put a ring on my finger? Probably not. I'm 21 years old.
Probably not.
And I'm not
Probably
looking
not.
for that. I'm not looking for that. That's okay. I'm not looking for marriage at 21 years old, and I don't think I'm gonna find a high-value man at this age because there isn't any high-value men at this age.
Well, I mean, it's actually at 21 years old, that's the best time to be looking for high value. But
and thou shalt bow before me.
Go ahead. You want to come in, John?
Who's the guy that made
Wait, did you just do the
guy
who
has
hurt you?
made me like this.
Is this the who
Why
hurt
do
you?
you think a man has made me like this? Who do you think?
Somebody definitely hurt you.
No guy has really hurt me.
So you just born with all this angst and hate in your heart?
Why? Because I have values that aren't traditional.
I didn't say anything. Listen,
It
just
seems
because
like
I'm wearing
it.
listen,
It
just because
kinda
I'm wearing a
push-
suit doesn't
you're
mean
pushing that.
just
You're
relax,
pushing that.
relax. Okay, just because I'm wearing a suit doesn't mean I'm traditional. It means I'm professional. Okay. So all I'm trying to say is he asked you like a very simple question, but you came back with like a fiery, emotionally charged answer that was kind of like a little bit anti-male. And so I'm trying to figure out like what happened.
Nothing happened. I've only really ever been in one really serious relationship, and I was the one who ended it because I thought that it would be more fun to be single, and I've had a really great time being single. And I honestly try
you
to
seem
encourage.
so happy.
I am happy. I'm not looking for a relationship. Yeah, I've been on like dating sites, but if you look at the people that I match with or the people that I like my messages, there really isn't none because I haven't found that high value male that I want to marry or pursue or even sleep with.
High value men, 9 times out of 10, they're not on dating apps.
That is correct.
Just like high value women, 9 times out of 10 are not on dating apps.
What makes a high value woman? What's that?
Concepts foreign
Let
to
me
you.
ask you.
Concepts foreign to you. Modesty, being demure.
Modesty. What is modesty? You just don't like it when a woman is outspoken. You're intimidated by that.
You just met me like 10 minutes ago.
And you're already starting to say, you just called me a bitch, you insulted me. I have not insulted you. I said that you are intimidated. It seems to me that you are intimidated.
Nobody's intimidated by you, first of all.
I don't know.
Second of all,
Yeah,
you
no,
don't
it
even-
seems like you're intimidated by somebody that speaks the truth. That modesty, that is your concern, modesty. So, you just said that a high value woman, the first thing that came out of your mouth was modesty.
There are
That is at the top
there are
of your
multiple
list.
things that came out.
Is that at the top of the list? Modesty.
No.
Then why did you mention
Can we just lower the tank a little bit?
I'm just triggered. It's fun.
I would say, John, but maybe.
Right.
Magic Eraser. It's a game changer, and I'll tell you why. I use my finger, and in 4 seconds, I click erase. Amazing. My name is Jesse, and I'm a Google Pixel.
Just quick impressions. Quick impressions.
Okay,
Rich man, small penis.
Rich man
poor
or
man, huge dong.
Okay, go for it.
Rich man.
Damn you!
Next.
What?
I can't think.
I mean, I'm already with a man, baby. I don't
If you
need a
weren't.
saint.
If you weren't.
Well, you know, she's married. I don't know. Let's give her a freebie on that one.
I would probably go, well, because my answer earlier, Ocean of the Ocean, so probably rich guy.
Okay.
I'll smell
What?
Not giving you any free content.
I'm not looking at the one.
You're mine!
I would do wealth because I'm going to provide, again, sexual chemistry. But
Rock and roll red. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Appreciate it. Loving the show. One other question for the ladies. 5'5". Jesus. Okay. 5'5" average guy with a $50K salary who you love, or a 6'5" NBA player with an 8-inch BBC. Also, should we? I mean, maybe we should add to this. The NBA player is not going to be 52.
I feel like you know I just say no. She's gonna say NBA. She's gonna say marriage. She's gonna say marriage. She's gonna say NBA or marriage.
That's a good summary.
Yeah.
That's pretty accurate.
I was only gonna say I don't date men shorter than me, and I'm 5'9".
There you go. I would like to, if I may, put forth an executive order for the show. No more discussion of dick size or labia or any of that tonight. Can we agree to that, Brian?
What?
Unless you're gonna
Listen,
no more
send them a
discussion.
lot of
I
money.
tell you,
Tell you
I'm
what.
so over it at this point.
Tell you what, Chase.
It's so gross.
Tell you what, this is what I can do for you, good sir.
It's part of your body, Chase. Just accept yourself.
I will oblige you on the penis, but if the labia comes up, I'm talking about it. Okay, moving on.
All right.
Can I ask?
Jay.
Your logo was really good. Did you
What?
make on the labia site? That was so
That was
cute.
me. I made that.
love
It's
that.
like the heart
Yeah,
and then the.
it was really clever. I'll give it that.
Let's say you were talking to a guy and you're really.
A control freak, I apologize.
I love it. What do you control other than a fork and a spoon? What the f are you talking about?
I lost weight for you, asshole. Look at this.
Holy shit. Where did you lose
This
it?
is the after picture.
So you live in Colorado?
I'm actually kind of like nomadic, homeless right now between scenes.
Are you really homeless if you're built like a house?
I like nice guys. I like someone who's really sweet to me, who I can have a nice chat. I would love a nice best friend for life.
Yeah, and I'll be meeting you.
Hi, I'm Stephen. I'm 24. I thought Pancake Day was yesterday.
Oh, victim. You an alpha man? You want an alpha female, right?
No. No such thing. No, I don't.
There's no such thing as an alpha female.
There's no such thing as an alpha female. No such thing.
Why? How? Why do you think that?
Who does she lead? In the relationship, who does she lead as an
No.
alpha?
women better at than men?
They're better at probably doing the dishes.
Would you rather choose the girl of your dream, any girl you want, the girl of your dreams, or the car of your dream?
Probably the car of my dreams.
What car would that be?
An RX-7 FT.
That's good. That's
Yes.
good. How come not a girl though?
Because bitches waste money.
City boy! City boy!
Personality or looks? Personality. Why? No, I don't want a hot crazy girl though. This is coming from a girl.
No, it's been more interesting if it's 10 girls, right?
Oh, God.
This new generation of men want you to chase them so bad.
Shut up. Y'all can't never take what y'all dish out. Want somebody to chase you but don't want to chase nobody. That boy done worked on himself. Got his degree, got some money, grew a little beard, went to Smile Direct Club. Y'all gave him the sauce on the internet. He changed his life. Now you and all your friends want him. You want him to chase you? That boy got options. On the internet projecting. I know that's what you're doing. What y'all like to do on TikTok. Whoever you talking about, chase that boy or miss out. That boy got options.
I'm thirsty. Refreshing.
I post my naked body online to
Like
put it short and
fully
simple.
naked?
Yes.
Are you fulfilled doing this?
Absolutely not. No, it has made me like extremely depressed.
Whoa. How much longer do you want to do this for?
I would love to stop now.
Dad bod or six pack?
Dad bod for sure. You can sleep on them easier.
They're very cuddly.
They go, yeah, they're cuddly.
They're warm.
So they eat pizza with you rather than go to the gym without you. And you always look a little bit better than them.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's leaving me!
So I come out of the supermarket and I see this girl in front of my car taking pictures. Hey, Mom, nice car. What do you do for a living?
I'm an influencer.
Ah, nice, nice. All right, you can get the hell out of my car now. What the f is wrong with her, man?
Hot as a hot Cheeto, and I want to put you in milk, and I want to eat you all up 106 times. I think you look like a hot Cheeto. I think you look very sexy.
Oh, thank you.
I'm very attracted to you.
Oh, thank you.
Do you like me? Do you want to be my boyfriend?
Sorry, I have no time.
No!
Rejected.
Why? Where is she? Where is she?
I'm passing the phone to someone who the whole football team. I'm passing the
She belongs to the streets.
Boy, nice. Okay, so the assholes always win, huh?
Always win. Nice
You
guys.
just want to be fucked and treated like shit, huh?
Honestly, yeah. Unless it's a relationship.
You know what the issue is? You're a very attractive girl, but all that is going through my head is my ex.
Excuse me, or what? Who wants into a date thinking about their ex?
Didn't think about it when I walked in, but as this has continued, it sort of made me think about it a little bit more.
Really? Wow, that's so funny.
I don't understand men who bash women that have a high body count, that sleep around. You lose respect for this kind of woman.
If you have a good man and you care about making him happy, you need to know that sex is an expression of love. It is not a gift. It is not a romantic gesture. And men need romance too. I feel like a lot of the times in relationships, men start off romantic. They start off taking you on dates, giving you thoughtful gifts and everything. But because women are conditioned to only care about their needs in a relationship, you forget, like, if somebody's giving and giving and giving and not getting anything in return, that's not going to make them want to keep giving.
I'm still busy.
And then
Oh my.
really want to be with that day, but you're there with them on set with their product. And then, okay, see you later. It's gonna be all over the internet for the rest of your life. There's no exclusivity, and I think that's tough for
Let's do this! Let's go!
In a relationship, we forget, like, if somebody's giving and giving and giving and not getting anything in return, that's not gonna make them want to keep giving.
I needed that.
Special skills, just
Here's a question, and you can lie to yourself, but you'll definitely know if you're lying. Stack up against the main one. Against that best version of yourself. Did this probably embarrassed, right? Now, why would the success be embarrassed? Most likely it's because you're simply not doing the things you need to do. Come there. Likely you're sitting on your ass, smoking weed, playing video games, wasting time watching Pornhub or Netflix. You're doing all this unimportant shit that's entertaining and comfortable, but those distractions from accomplishing your priorities. So, exercise, making money, yourself. And the truth is that you know you're slacking on your priorities. The question is, I'm guessing somewhere in the back of your mind, what you're thinking right now is because, I'm unmotivated, lazy. Really lazy. But why can't you get motivated? And you probably don't know. Well, I'm here to tell you I know why, and you can't help. There's something going on in your head causing this problem. You have programming issues in your mental function. You're mentally comfortable rather than great. Basically needing an update to your software. Fortunately, as a hypnotherapist, I know how to reprogram that software. Definitely in the highest levels. Now, obviously, this is an ad between trying to sell me something. So here's the deal.
Your days are numbered.
You're looking for a way to become the man you've always wanted to be. Maybe you're very excited. I've created a program that's going to get you there. And you know that sounds crazy. I decided I will prove it to you. Sell my program for $15. Then you can afford to have a total money back. $15 to change your life. So that's up to you. So, how does this work? Well, going back to the beginning of one, this future success, right? Obviously has different habits when you're close. He has power. Success. You're not sitting on his ass watching TikTok and jerking off. He's laser focused on picking the wins the day every day. In a nutshell, the difference between now and the future success successful you, it's simply the habits that control your life. My program allows you to easily program the dreams for our habits. These habits are the drills that control action and difference between you and your motive to express yourself. Take some action, and let's get you started. Listen, you're the type of guy who's worried about investing $16 into a money-back, guaranteed program that can literally change your life. You're that guy? Just order a pizza and watch YouTube grow, because I don't even think I can help that guy. If you're not, just bring me. I'm gonna take it.
Thousands of years, brave warriors have journeyed to Kalamithia in search of 8 magical stones hidden throughout the world. Elements of earth.
Your days are numbered.
These stones possess unrivaled power. They were corrupted and divided what was once a peaceful world.
Farewell!
We have tried and failed to harness the magic stones. But now, that quest belongs to me.
Hold on!
Don't mind if I do.
You.
Whatever. But if it's like she wants to party every week.
The federal government lost in federal court because they were blanket denying religious exemptions. Man, you know it's gonna be hot when I got a disclaimer before the video. On January 10th, almost 2 weeks ago, the Secretary of Defense put out a memo stating that DoD personnel no longer were mandated to get the COVID-19 vaccine. Now, in this memo, the Secretary of Defense stated that military personnel were doing an outstanding job. That because of their leadership, we were able to protect not only ourselves, but the American people. And in that memo, there is a specific paragraph that I would like to talk with you about today because I have questions. Let's get in the nitty-gritty of this, shall we? The first paragraph on the second page of this memo, and there's only 2 pages, reads, "Religious liberty is a foundational principle of enduring importance in America enshrined in our Constitution and other sources of federal law. Service members have the right to observe the tenets of their religion or to observe no religion at all, as provided in applicable federal law and departmental policy. Components shall continue to apply the uniform standards set forth in DoD Instruction 1300.17, Religious Liberty in the Military Services." Now you're saying, what does that even mean? What's the importance of putting that in a memo? I'll read the first line again. Religious liberty is a foundational principle of enduring importance in America. Interesting. Wow. You see, that paragraph in a nutshell, and some lines before it and afterward, talk about how that this whole mandate was in line with the Constitution, and although it was a mandate, didn't violate anybody's religious rights in any way.
Nothing to see here.
Men's grooming has come a long way in the past few years. That's why Manscaped created the Lawnmower 4.0, your all-in-one solution to trim down there. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof and cordless, so it's perfect for trimming, even in the shower. And these ceramic blades with skin-safe technology, which helps reduce nicks and cuts on the most sensitive regions of the body. A full charge lasts up to 90 minutes, plus when done, you can easily recharge by dropping it into its wireless charging dock. In use, it fits in my hand perfectly, which really helps when navigating those tough-to-reach regions with confidence. It's super lightweight and also comes with these different trimmer guard options, which is great if you're looking to give yourself a sick fade or experiment with some fun shapes and outlines. Whether you like that high and tight, or you may want to go for a more maintained look without being totally bare. Check out the new Platinum Package Bundle, your all-in-one men's grooming kit with head-to-toe tools for your family jewels and everything else in between. Don't wait, go to manscaped.com, order today, and get 2 free gifts plus free shipping.
Alright, let's make it happen. Ooh, I'm itching to get started.
I've been getting paid $1,000 a month, if not more, just from this app on my phone. And I don't know if you can see this, but it's called Audible. Okay, so I'm gonna show you. Right here, I have a check from Audible. This is for $1,100. This one is for $1,100 again. And then this one is $1,200. Every month, I am getting paid by Audible. For those of you that don't know what Audible is, it's actually a child company of Amazon, which is one of the largest marketplaces in the world. So Audible is where people normally buy and sell audiobooks and podcasts. And the first time I learned about this was 3 years ago from Christian. So Christian would put up these audio files onto Audible, and just like that, he would get paid. So I saw this and I said I could do that. So then I started doing it, and then within a few months, I was able to quit my job and I started traveling the world with Christian. So I taught the same process to my mom, and now she's making about $900 a month. Then I decided to teach my little brother, who's in college right now, so that he can pay off his student loans. So the best part about this is that it is so beginner friendly, and I want to show you how easy it is. Obviously this is an ad, so I can't really show you anything, but if you click the link below, you'll be able to attend a free training that Christian put together, and it goes over the exact same steps that he taught me, my mom, and my little brother. It's a simple training. It's just 4 steps about how you can start leveraging Audible today. And honestly, 3 years ago, I knew nothing about online business. I didn't even know you could put things online. And I was able to make this happen. And my mom, okay, she doesn't even speak perfect English. She knows nothing about technology or setting up accounts, and she was able to make it happen. And now my little brother, who's in college, who doesn't have that much free time, is also making it happen. So this really is for anybody. All you need to do is just click the link below and put in your email. You'll have instant access to this free training. It's short, and you'll be able to walk away with action steps on how you can leverage Audible right now. And the truth is, we've had a lot of people that have watched this same free training that you're about to watch, and they have made their first sale and earned their first $1 using Audible within 7 days. Imagine that feeling of that first $1 hitting your bank account and knowing that you made that happen. Okay, so I want you to be one of those few people that are taking advantage of this, because not many people are doing it. All right, just click the link and I'll see you on the inside.
There's a special quest for you. I pray that this calamity may soon come to an end. If anyone can handle this...
This paragraph feels like a CYA. It feels like when somebody goes out of their way to say, but I didn't do anything wrong here, so don't ask or say anything about the thing that I didn't do wrong. Don't look into it. I'm fine. Why is everybody looking at me? I didn't do anything wrong. And before I get a whole bunch of nut jobs that are going to start screaming at me and saying, you know, this is one thing or the other, or I don't know, the New World Order bullshit, all I'm going to focus on today is the way that military service members were treated, specifically in regards to religious exemptions that they requested while the vaccine mandate was in effect and prior to the vaccine mandate being enforced in 2021 through 2022 up until, well, just the 10th of January 2023. What about way before 2020? Before anybody even heard of COVID, right? Everybody keeps saying vaccines were a part of medical readiness from the get-go, way before the mandate took place, way before we heard of COVID. So obviously there's no issue there. Wow. Having served before 2020 and also been a drill sergeant before that time, I can tell you that if you didn't want to get a flu shot, or any shot for that matter, you could refuse it. Nobody really raised any eyebrows at it. If you didn't want the flu shot because you felt like you'd get sick all the time after it, I'm not sure if that's a real thing or the placebo effect, you could just say that you were allergic to eggs and they wouldn't give you the shot. It was one of the questions they asked you before they gave you the shot. Are you allergic to eggs or any other autoimmune diseases? You go, yeah, I am. They'd be like, do you have any proof of that? I'm like, no, not on me. They're like, okay, cool. And they just say that you got it and you moved on and nobody gave a shit. And in basic training, well, shit, I'll let one dumbass speak for herself.
I told them that it was against my religion to get shots. Is it? Maybe. But I know I didn't have to get those shots.
And if you don't know who this dope is, she decided to get herself kicked out of the military because she didn't want to do it anymore, and then made a video on how to get kicked out of the military without getting a dishonorable discharge. And one of the things she brags about that you just saw is that if she didn't want to get a shot in basic training, all she had to say to the medical personnel was that it was against her religion. No paperwork. No having to talk to a chaplain, no getting an okay from a higher up military member. All she had to do was say nothing goes against my religious practices, and nobody gave two shits and just let her go in. Well, that is different than all the things that have been said to the public in memos and on the news about the United States military. It's almost like things were different with COVID. Not just because of the disease, but also in the way that service members were treated. Let's talk about that. One of the things you're going to see pop up again and again is DoD Instruction 1300.17. It was in the memo written by the Secretary of Defense, and it's going to be in a couple other court documents that I'm going to bring up here today. It's basically stating, in a nutshell, and I'm dumbing this down, so don't yell at me, if any military member, Department of the Defense, has a religious objection to something, it is the job of the Department of Defense to treat each person and objection individually, keyword, individually, and then come up with a compromise that will not affect the overall wellness, etc., of the force in a negative way and still allow the individual to practice their religion. Religious objection from an individual investigation, come up with a solution that won't affect the rest of the department in a negative light and still allows the individual their religious freedoms. Right? Okay, we've got that. Good. Let's talk about Navy Commander Robert Green Jr. Now, Navy Commander Robert Green Jr. was in charge of Maritime Expeditionary Security Squadron 8. That's a mouthful. And he was removed as an executive officer from that squadron because he refused to get the vaccination. Now, his removal is significant because it happened a short time after a large group of U.S. Navy SEALs sued and won their suit against the President of the United States, President Joe Biden, stating that their religious freedoms were being violated because the entire Navy was blanket denying every religious exception. Well, that doesn't sound like respecting people's religious freedoms in that paragraph that the Secretary of Defense put out. Oh wait, I forgot. An airman had to sue the federal government in order to get their religious exemptions looked at and not blanket denied. Well, that's odd. Two entire branches had to sue the federal government in order to get their religious exemptions looked at. Wait a second, I thought that DOD instruction 1300.177 said each religious exemption had to be looked at individually. It was in the paragraph that I read from the Secretary of Defense. Is that not being done? Are we just ignoring the religious rights and freedoms of our service members? Well, that's not good. You see, those are like 3 weird stories. Like, you couldn't possibly have any more weird stories where, service members were treated unfairly because they weren't vaccinated. Oh, so get this. Your lieutenant that has done his 12-month tour in Korea, but now the vaccine mandate has come down and said, listen, you can't permanently move your duty station if you're unvaccinated. Meaning if you're in Fort Benning, you can't move to Fort Jackson, or if you're in South Korea, you can't move to your next permanent duty station in Texas with your wife and 2 kids. So for 8 additional months, this lieutenant was stuck in Korea and couldn't move back permanently to Texas. Couldn't have his orders cut to go to a unit in Texas. But he could vacation and visit his family using up his vacation days in Texas. What sense does that make? The poor guy had his wife buy and move into a new home all by herself with her 2 kids because he couldn't go over and assist her. Wow, a lot of undue stress on the family there that I thought the Army was supposed to be taking, special attention and taking care of. Oh, you're part of the Army, you're a big family now. We're going to take care of mothers and wives and their kids and not make undue stress on them. But we're going to keep your husband here and not let him move back home. Oh, he can busy as much as he wants, but he can't move there. Can't move there. And I mean, it's not like there was a guy that did 8 tours with the 75th Ranger Regiment, 5 to Afghanistan and 3 to Syria. Let's ignore all those deployments, because now this guy's trying to put himself through medical school and become an officer in the Army. Wow, that's very advantageous for the military. This guy was enlisted, now he's getting an education through it and becoming an officer in the medical field. We should probably help him out, but you can't, because he's unvaccinated. And since he's unvaccinated, he can't graduate. The government won't allow him to get his degree. It says, no, we're not giving out degrees if you're unvaccinated. Now the school's holding his degree, so you've got a guy in limbo who's completed all the training but won't get the certificate because he's unvaccinated. We're not giving him his commission or his degree because he's unvaccinated, but he's unvaccinated because of his religious beliefs. But we're giving everybody the appropriate due care in their religious beliefs, but we're still punishing him because he's unvaccinated, which are part of his religious beliefs. All these numbers, all these articles of saying these thousands of people that are putting in for religious exemption, and then all getting blanket denied, and these individuals being treated pretty oddly based on their religious exemption. You won't even say going out of your way to hassle these nice kids. Wow, it just seems like something's a little fucked up. Like there's like an intentional blockade preventing these people from exercising their religious rights. Wait a second, what's this?
Redbull Snow Scramble is back. Battle it out for the win at Twisted Trails Off-Road Park on February 18th. Sign up today at redbull.com/snowscramble.
What, this is a memo from the Inspector General of the Department of Defense to the Secretary of Defense. Well, what's it about? The denials of religious accommodation requests regarding coronavirus disease 2019 vaccination exemptions. And its purpose is to inform you, the Secretary of Defense, of potential non-compliance with standards for reviewing and documenting the denial of religious accommodation requests of service members identified through complaints submitted to my office. Oh, geez, that means people's religious rights are potentially being violated. Well, it's just potentially, right? What did the DOD IG find? We found a trend of generalized assessments rather than the individualized assessment that is required by federal law and DOD and military service policies. Oh no! Oh no! Like DOD Instruction 1300.17? Foreshadowing. There's going to be a lot of links, and feel free to check them out. And they're going to have some of these denial letters in them. And by golly, if they don't look so cut and paste, as if no individual attention was given to the service member or their religious objection. Now, some of you might say, AC, there's thousands of these objections. There's bound to be some similarities here and there. Oh, wow. You know what? You're right. You're right. You're right. Oh, man. But Commander Green. Well, you know what? I brought him up in the beginning, and all I said was he had a religious objection, and that he got removed from command. Like, that didn't seem that bad. But what? Did something else happen with Commander Green that would lead me to think that there might have been some sort of assembly line to automatically deny service members their religious accommodations to their religious objections? Oh, shit! Buckle up, baby! The U.S. Navy's here to tell you that religion don't mean dick! Woo! I don't know how arrogant of a command you have to be to put out a step-by-step process to automatically deny individuals their religious freedoms. But Commander Green, after seeing a step-by-step process, specifically a 50-step process to automatically deny individuals their religious beliefs. But what did Commander Green do? Well, he was able to give evidence to the suit of the U.S. Navy SEALs versus President Joe Biden that confirmed that there was an SOP, a standard operating procedure, for processing religious accommodations. And that SOP was drafted by the Navy's Manpower, Personnel, Training, and Education Office. Once again, I'm going to generalize this 50-step process for you, but 1 through 10 was a whole bunch of I having to do things and fill them out so that I can send it up to the next level. And step 15, like 15 to 20, was the paper pusher. Right, the guy that sits in front of his desk and makes sure that your file has got all the right stuff in it. And part of that step that he goes through and looks at was to cut and paste your name, your date of birth, your religion and objection into a religious request denial form. Follow me here. You fill out your entire packet and you turn it in to your unit paper pusher. And your unit paper pusher picks up your packet before anybody else above you in your chain of command sees it and fills out a denial form for your religious exemption. All it needs is your commander's signature on it and it's processed. Before your commander sees it, before your commander's commander sees it, before a chaplain sees it, it's already got a filled out denial form in it, just waiting on a signature. Wow. So here we are. We have this chain, this assembly line in the Navy to automatically deny service members their religious exemptions. We have members of the Navy and the Air Force having to sue the federal government because no religious exemptions are getting through, are being passed, are being approved, so they have to sue. And then they win. Both of them won. The federal government lost in federal court because they were blanket denying religious exemptions. Now, let's say that everything is totally fine, that there never was a COVID-19 vaccine or COVID-19, and this was just a bunch of service members requesting religious exemptions for a multitude of different reasons. Not honoring the First Amendment and blanket denying literally thousands of religious exemptions seems like a huge First Amendment rights violation. I can't say it is because I'm not that guy. And we already know that recruiting is down and everybody was upset and 2020 suicides went up. Do you know how many people died of COVID-19 in the United States military? 96. 96 people died of COVID in the United States military since the whole pandemic began. Do you know how many people committed suicide? How many service members committed suicide in 2020? It was 580. We had 6 times more deaths from suicide in 1 year than we did during the entire pandemic of people passing away from COVID. Put that in a more grand scale, there were 453,456 cases of COVID over the past several years in the DoD. And with 96 deaths, that makes it a percentage of 0.00021171. That's your chances of dying. And yet, were willing to kick out thousands of service members for a vaccine that happened after the pandemic that even right now has some variability as to how effective it was. There were 2,869 injuries from the COVID vaccine. Now I know people are going to say anecdotal evidence, and a friend of mine who I worked with in a recruiting unit was forced to get a vaccine. She got the Pfizer vaccine, and unfortunately it negatively affected her and it shut down her vagus nerve, which, dumbed down version of it, affects your digestion, affects your stomach. It tells you when you're hungry and other important things like that. She went from a totally fine, physically fit female soldier into being as skinny as a rail. She weighed under 100 pounds. She had to drink shakes because she couldn't keep solid food down just so she could maintain her weight. Unfortunately, she was medically discharged because of this unnecessary injury. Now, she's not taking this while sitting down. She's fighting back the best that she can. She's filed a report in the Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System so that her reaction can be documented to hopefully prevent this from happening to others in the future. But was this entire event necessary? Now, luckily, she's gained a little bit of some of that weight back, but unfortunately, this is going to affect her every single day for the rest of her life. So now that we no longer have a mandate, here's my personal thoughts on the mandate. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers, sailors, airmen, marine, all military personnel's rights away. It obviously violated the religious rights, because why would you have such an obvious assembly line in order to automatically deny people? And I haven't even gotten to the armies yet. The memo talking about the vaccine and making it mandatory came out a year after Afghanistan. So a whole year after having military members feel lost, feel useless, feel as though what they did didn't matter, the United States government decided to tell them that if you don't do this one thing, we're gonna kick you right out. Thanks for your service in one hand and a boot in the ass on the way out. What were service members feeling? Did anybody even think about that? 1 year after the fall of Afghanistan, when troops are hurt, torn, and confused, you gave them an ultimatum, an expiration date on their integrity. Regardless of how you feel, you'll either get this or you're gone. Thanks for your service, now get the fuck out. You took people who had multiple tours overseas, lost friends, probably ended up wounded themselves, or walked back home with the invisible wounds, and then gave them dishonorable discharges. So much for your benefits, Staff Sergeant. See you never. The memo says that the DoD followed the rules and respected religious rights and freedoms, but these examples say otherwise. But here's a bombshell that I saved just for this moment. I don't know what to call this, a platform, a video, social media influencer, but it allows me to have people in positions of power all over the place send me information so that I can then better inform you about what's going on in the military. DoD, government, some of those people were directly involved in the religious exemptions. One such person works at the National Guard Bureau, the head of the National Guard near DC. Because what they told me was that all the Army religious exemptions sitting on the desks in the National Guard Bureau were also going to be disapproved. Let me tell you that story real quick. I filed for a religious exemption for the COVID-19 vaccination. I'm unvaccinated. I've gotten just about everything else from the United States government, but I felt uncomfortable taking the vaccine because I didn't think it had enough time in the trial phases to see if there was any negative repercussions. Already had COVID. I'm a healthy 30-something-year-old guy. I'll opt out. Here's my religious exemption. I had to fill that out in December of 2021, get counseled by a chaplain, and had that packet moved up to the National Guard Bureau in February of 2022. It is now January of 2022, vaccine mandate no longer in effect, and I have yet to receive any information, so has every other National Guard member, about their religious exemptions. Thousands of us had a deadline to meet. Met it. turned in the appropriate paperwork to people high above me who have no idea who we are or how we practice our religions. But there was no deadline for them to get back with either our approval or disapproval, rejection of our religious exemptions. Boy, I'd love to see a congressional investigation into why did it take so long to sign off on a religious exemption? And why are people saying, specifically to me, that are a part of that process or around it, that these religious exemptions were going to be blanket denied, just like the two other branches? Now, that's a question you might want to ask your senator or congressman, especially if you're in the Guard or one of those individuals that filled out a religious exemption and never received an answer. I'm sure Governor Ron DeSantis, who's got a whole bunch of Guardsmen in his state who probably put up religious exemptions for the vaccine, would love to know why so many of his troops didn't get an answer. Let him know. Send out the feelers. He was a Navy JAG officer. I'm sure he might have some questions and answers as to the process of all of this. Did you know that there's a head chaplain for the National Guard? Works at National Guard Bureau too. Yeah, it's a full-board colonel actually. In fact, Military Times conducted an interview with the head chaplain of the National Guard and his deputy director. Well, the interview happened on December 17th, 2021, when everybody had to have the religious exemptions in. And they talk about, wow, what an overwhelming response from all these military members requesting a religious exemption. Man, that's a lot. Wow, we're worked to the bone here. I guess my question would be, did they know about all these stagnant religious exemptions just sitting on the desk at National Guard Bureau? Did they not know? Why wouldn't they know? He's the head chaplain of the National Guard. Was that not something that he wanted to know? I mean, I haven't seen another interview regarding this and the chaplain for the entire National Guard, who you think would have some sort of influence over the overall viewing of this religious exemption? Hoo-ha! I guess the biggest question of all is, why am I getting people telling me that all of those religious exemptions were going to be denied? Got a pretty good feeling it was because they were. A small consolation in this entire event is for those of you that were kicked out and have negative DD214s, because that can be rectified, and it states it in the memo from the SecDef, which I'll read to you right now. For service members administratively discharged for the sole basis that the service member failed to obey a lawful order to receive a vaccine for COVID-19, the department is precluded by law from awarding any characterization less than a general, under honorable conditions, discharge. Former service members may petition their military departments, discharge review boards, and boards for correction of military naval records. Records to individually request a correction in their personal records, including records regarding the characterization of their discharge. I know it says contact the military review board. I don't know how the hell to do that, but if you received a negative discharge, anything other than general, under honorable conditions, anything less than that, just because of the COVID vaccine refusal, you can get that changed. You need to contact your senator or congressman, your local representative, so you can get your DD214 changed. And that's a sad note to end on. See you next time, weirdos. In the NCO Creed, the second paragraph starts off with, competence is my watchword. My two basic responsibilities remain uppermost in my mind: the accomplishment of my mission and the welfare of my soldiers. Where was the competence in kicking out so many for a mandate that lasted a year and some change? How did we accomplish our mission when our recruiting numbers were so low and we're losing experienced NCOs? How can I look out for the welfare of my soldiers? It says something when the oath of the commissioned officer is barely 4 sentences and the NCO creed is 3 paragraphs. Water under the bridge? I don't know how the officer corps is going to recover from this.
Dinner. It's more than just a meal you make every night. It's a chance to slow down and catch your breath. To be fully present in the moment. Today, we'll show you how easy it is to practice mindfulness as you cook, focusing on your 5 senses. You can do this with any HelloFresh recipe. What do you see? Notice how the water bubbles, how the pasta softens and slowly sinks to the bottom. Do you hear anything? What does it sound like? What do you smell? Can you smell each ingredient in the sauce? Parmesan? Garlic? Take a deep breath and feel the air fill up your lungs. Great work. It's time to treat yourself. How's it taste? Try to enjoy all the different textures of each bite and how it all comes together. Here's to a better, more mindful dinner routine with HelloFresh.
Use code YB18 for 18 free meals and free shipping. Available for limited time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I ask unanimous consent that all members have 5 legislative days to revise and extend their remarks and submit extraneous. Thank you. On January 13th of this year, the ATF finalized its unconstitutional rule pertaining to firearms with stabilizing braces. Under this new ATF rule, any pistol-braced firearm would be considered an illegal short-barreled rifle, subjecting these firearms to draconian regulations under the NFA, the National Firearms Act of 1934, and turning millions of law-abiding gun owners into criminals literally overnight. Unelected anti-gun bureaucrats informed law-abiding gun owners possessing pistols with these braces attached that they will have only 120 days to register them once the rule is published in the Federal Register. This 120-day amnesty window started yesterday, January 31st. As we have seen across the world time and time again, what comes before gun confiscation? Gun registration. That's right. That's exactly what ATF is now demanding. But for stabilizer brace owners who do not wish to register their firearms, the ATF provides 4 alternatives. The first, turn in the entire firearm with the attached stabilizing brace to the ATF. That means forfeiting your firearm. The second, destroy the whole firearm. Again, another forfeiture of your firearm. The third, convert the pistol brace into a long-barreled rifle that does not require registration,
but is also much more difficult to use with a brace. Or number 4, permanently remove and dispose of or alter the stabilizing brace from the firearm so that it cannot be reattached. If gun owners who possess braced firearms refuse to register, destroy, turn in, or alter their firearm after this 120-day window, they face National Firearms Act violations, felony violations, including hefty fines up to $250,000 and up to 10 years in prison for having an unregistered short-barreled rifle. In other words, the ATF's rule turns law-abiding gun owners into criminals, into felons for simply doing nothing. That's right. If they do nothing, then after 120 days, they are in felony violation of ATF's reinterpreted law, all for simply maintaining their Second Amendment freedoms. So what exactly are these alleged hazardous stabilizing braces? A pistol brace, also known as a stabilizing brace, is simply an accessory that is attached to the rear of a large firearm in order to anchor the gun to the shooter's arm to better stabilize it, allowing them to more accurately be shot one-handed, just like what you see right here.
Bring on the hard stuff. Ain't nothing.
These braces were actually designed to help disabled veterans enjoy the sport of shooting. In fact, as a federal firearms licensee, my company has sold many of these pistol brace firearms to assist disabled veterans so they can improve their shooting capabilities and their accuracy. Unfortunately, these beneficial braces have faced uniformed and unwarranted backlash from unelected bureaucrats for years. In 2012, the ATF provided a letter determining that pistol braces were legal to use on the shoulder. This decision was then reversed 3 years later by the ATF in 2015, in which stabilizing braces became illegal to shoulder, turning braced firearms into unregistered short-barreled rifles. Now, the braces remained legal if held at arm's length, but illegal if brought back to the shoulder. How does that make any sense? This flip-flopped again in 2017, when stabilizing braces were once more determined to be legal to shoulder by the ATF, as long as the original design of the brace remained unmodified. And now here we are in 2023, as brace pistols are vilified yet again, declared by the ATF to be unregistered short-barreled rifles, requiring registration, and their owners classified as felons if they simply do nothing. Clearly, as in most cases of unconstitutional gun control, unelected bureaucrats who have little to no knowledge of firearms or respect for the Second Amendment rights are steamrolling ahead with unlawful restrictions, which will impact, estimates say, anywhere from 3 million to up to 40 million firearms across the country. Why? To advance the less dangerous dream of disarming our nation and dismantling our Second Amendment rights. That's what gun control is all about. The ultimate goal is an unarmed and subjugated America. I can assure gun owners across this great nation that I and Second Amendment-loving Republican colleagues will do everything in our power to never allow that to happen. We are fighting this, and we are not going to give up. Congress cannot allow the ATF to brazenly disregard both our Constitution and Congress's role, its sole role, in legislation, its legislative authority. Now, I don't know if ATF Director Dettelbach needs a copy of the Constitution to revisit the explicit language of the Second Amendment or the direct powers granted to the 3 branches of government, but the last time I checked, only Congress has the authority to make laws. Let me say that again. Congress makes laws, not unelected anti-gun bureaucrats at the ATF, or any other part of the executive branch for that matter. Yet, given the ATF's severely misguided decision to advance its unconstitutional pistol brace rule, I'm actively leading the fight to stop this grave injustice. We have 3 key tools available to us to fight the ATF's tyranny in Congress. The first is H.R. 646, the Stop Harassing Owners of Rifles Today Act, or the SHORT Act, which I reintroduced yesterday with Senators Roger Marshall and John Kennedy. This legislation repeals the elements of the National Firearms Act, thereby prohibiting the ATF from registering and banning pistols with stabilizing braces. The second element is a joint resolution of disapproval under the Congressional Review Act. which we will introduce in a matter of days to block the ATF's rule from infringing on American Second Amendment rights. Congressman Richard Hudson, our conference NRCC chair, has joined me in co-leading this in the House, while Senators John Kennedy and Roger Marshall will introduce the resolution in the Senate. And the third way that we can fight this here in Congress is through the power of the purse. As we write the ATF's appropriations for fiscal year 2024, we can prevent taxpayer dollars from funding this backdoor gun control through what's called a limitation amendment. As a new member on the Appropriations Committee and the Commerce, Justice, and Science Subcommittee, I look forward to assisting in this effort. With these three initiatives, we can work together to stop the ATF's unconstitutional overreach. You know, it would be better if the ATF simply decided to rescind the pistol brace rule so we would not have to take these permanent measures. But we are fully prepared to do so if they will not rescind it. Now, I'm proud to have several of my colleagues here tonight to expose the ATF's unconstitutional rule, as well as to highlight how Congress can stop this latest form of gun control from infringing on law-abiding gun owners' Second Amendment freedoms. So, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to yield 3 minutes to my good friend from New Jersey, Mr. Van Drew.
I thank the gentleman for doing this today, and I thank him for his lead in the fight. Yesterday, I stood on this floor fighting to protect Americans' First Amendment rights. Today, I'm standing here fighting to protect Americans' Second Amendment rights. God help our Constitution. Congress has afforded far too much deference to unelected D.C. bureaucrats in federal agencies. And it is time, with our majority, to rein in that extreme power. The left has talked about taking your gas stoves away, has censored your speech, and now the ATF, under the guidance of this administration, is coming to take away millions of pistols from law-abiding gun owners. Law-abiding gun owners. Individuals who own pistol braces, which has originally been by the ATF itself. What's changed? What's different? What's new? Now we have an administration that is desperate to erode Second Amendment rights in more pervasive ways every year passes. It is continually chipped away at Americans' constitutional rights because of the lack of understanding of what the actual roots of gun violence are. The administration is abusing the powers delegated to the ATF to illegally track gun owners, perform unauthorized compliance checks at people's homes, and now banning popular modifications that, again, I will say it again, they approved in the first place. It's got to stop. We're tired of it. Americans are tired. Nice. This has to end. See ya. That's why I am proud to join these efforts to protect gun owners across this great. As their duly elected representatives, we must fight back. We must stand tall. We must be tough. We must stand against this abuse of power. Let me say this. Duly elected official and a gun owner myself, all I have left to say to the ATF is enough is enough. Our right to keep and bear arms shall not be.
Thank you. My good friend from New Jersey, from one of those blue states where you don't necessarily think that there are passionate gun owners, and I appreciate those words.
South Jersey's a lot different.
All right. Now I would like to yield 3 minutes to my good friend from Colorado, Representative Boebert, who is also the co-chair of our Second Amendment caucus.
First, I'd like to thank my friend and fellow Freedom Caucus colleague and proven fighter for the Second Amendment, Mr. Clyde, for organizing this special order. Thank you so much for highlighting what's going on here. Mr. Speaker, the ATF's new pistol brace rule violates the separation of powers. Bureaucrats don't create laws. Congress does. This rule functions like a law that Congress never passed. ATF, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. In Western Colorado, we call that a fun weekend. But DC bureaucrats have used this agency to infringe on the rights of the American people. When you research how many pistol braces the ATF expects to be registered, the number varies. Some say 10 million, others say 20 million, and it still may even be 40 million. Why such disparity? Because the ATF doesn't know how many are out there, because law-abiding Americans do not trust them enough to tell them. In fact, there's probably going to be many more boating accidents this spring and summer than we've ever encountered in U.S. history from law-abiding gun owners. We don't trust the ATF because of their overreaching actions, exactly like we're seeing with this rule. There's been a lot of talk about defunding the ATF, even abolishing the agency altogether. And I'm still waiting to hear a good reason why the ATF should remain an agency at all. And yet I've yet to hear one. Instead of providing regulations that keep our communities safe, this agency has made our communities more dangerous by laundering weapons to the cartels. Operation Fast and Furious exposed the recklessness of the ATF, how little regard they have for the rule of law, and Americans have had a hard time viewing these agencies and its rules as legitimate. Think about it, the ATF had about 1,700 firearms that were being tracked. They had tracers on them that they were selling to known criminals during this Operation Fast and Furious. They lost 1,700 traced firearms. And now they expect to go after law-abiding American citizens for firearm accessories? Are they really that competent to go after this many millions of Americans for a firearm accessory, a stabilizing brace, when they had 1,700 tracked firearms in the hands of known criminals that they just lost? I think that alone proves the legitimacy of this agency, and I'm very excited to bring them into the Oversight and Accountability hearing so they can speak for themselves of why they should remain an agency in our federal government and not have the appropriate features of their agency put under another, like the FBI, once we clean that out. But other than that, the Second Amendment, it is absolute. All the regulations that bureaucrats make, the laws that bureaucrats are trying to make, the unconstitutional laws that are passed by the federal government, the state legislatures.
Good luck out there.
They make our country less safe. Gun-free zones are the most dangerous places in our country. The Second Amendment is absolute, and it's here to stay. A recent report states that Americans own 46% of the world's guns. I think we need to get our numbers up, boys and girls. I thank you so much, Mr. Clyde, for hosting this special order. Thank you for bringing us all together on this topic, and hopefully we could shed some light to the American people and let them know that we are fighting against this agency and their abuse of separation of powers. Thank you, and I yield.
Thank you. Thank you to the gentlewoman from Colorado and her unwavering defense of the Second Amendment of our Constitution. And now I would like to yield 3 minutes to my good friend from Texas, Mr. Crenshaw.
Thank you, Mr. Clyde. Thank you for your leadership on this important issue, because the unelected bureaucrats, they're at it again. They're launching attacks on our constitutional rights of law-abiding gun owners. And this seems to be the sole purpose of the agency lately, attacking the Second Amendment. Now they want to ban pistol braces. Now, Americans who don't know what a pistol brace is might have some obvious questions after hearing about this ban. What is a pistol brace? Obviously, it makes guns more deadly, right? It makes guns shoot faster, makes them used only by people who murder other people. So the ATF want to ban it. Americans who actually use pistol braces, in reality, there is zero logical reason to ban pistol braces. It's a device used by a lot of disabled veterans, a lot of people who know to provide more stability when owning a gun. Millions of Americans own this brace, which they would immediately become felons when it goes into effect. It's not even practical from a law enforcement perspective. Now, you could argue, actually, that the pistol brace makes the gun safer. Makes it less likely for people to shoot things they're not aiming at. No, most of the leaders of ATF are going to change logic and reason to their decision-making. Instead, they apply the mindset of authoritarian gun-grabbing bureaucrats are. Congress cannot sit idly by. Recently reintroduced a bipartisan piece of legislation that would create an appeals process for small business owners for fighting rulings. Right now, the only real recourse that exists is for these gun shop owners and manufacturers to sue the federal government in court. Now, for the average American, that's not exactly doable. It takes time, and a lot of money, and a lot of resources. My bill would put the ATF in line with every other federal regulatory agency's appeal process and ensure Americans can petition their government for the redress of grievances and get decisions handed down in a timely manner. These taxpayer-funded, anti-gun activists at the ATF cannot continue to trample on our Second Amendment rights without a response from Congress. We must never cease fighting against these shameless power-grabbing Republicans. Let's use our House majority to protect law-abiding guns.
Thank you to my good friend from Texas for those inspiring words, and I will now yield 3 minutes to my good friend from Kentucky, Representative Matt.
I want to thank Mr. Clyde from Georgia for organizing this time on the floor. I think it's so important. We're talking about the brace rule. The brace is a firearm accessory for disabled individuals. But Mr. Biden went to his Attorney General and to the ATF and said, you know what, I hate guns. How can I take millions of them off the street without regard to if they're legally owned? And how can I do it without going to Congress? It really doesn't do that. Now keep in mind, this is administrative law. Our founders were against this kind of thing because they knew that the law shouldn't change with each administration. When Democrats controlled both chambers of Congress and the White House, they didn't pass this legislation. This ATF rule says that gun owners have 120 days of amnesty to register or destroy their firearm if it has the firearm accessory. If you don't obey, you become a felon. What this administrative rule does not do is it does not make people safer. This ruling turns millions of law-abiding gun owners into criminals. Tens of millions of pistol braces have been sold in the United States with the permission of the ATF, the written permission of the ATF. They're telling you to take this off or transfer it or register it like a machine gun, basically the same paperwork. If you want to turn it into a short barrel rifle, guess what? There's 26% of Americans live in a state where the ATF has left them with no option. They will create an illegal gun in their state if they comply with the ATF ruling in order to keep their gun. How much compliance do we think there's going to be? Well, there was a bump stock rule similar to this. There are about 500,000 bump stocks estimated in circulation. 526 have been returned to the government. So they've made 500,000 felons is what they've done. Now, Mr. Clyde has several bills to fix this. I can anticipate, or I believe, Justice Scalia, if he were alive, I can tell you, I believe, based on a meeting that I had with him, which one he would prefer. Several of us had breakfast with Scalia, and we said, oh, Obama's so bad. We don't have the constitutional balance of government. Fix this for us, Supreme Court. And Scalia said, this is not my job to referee fights between you and the executive branch. By the way, you're the most powerful branch.
To my shop.
You're Article 1.
See you soon.
And you have all the tools you need to stop what he's doing. And one of my colleagues said, well, impeachment's so hard. Scalia said, I'm not talking about impeachment. You are funding everything you complain about. So I believe
that his favorite method here, and it's certainly my favorite method, would have been to defund this activity. The ruling is unconstitutional. The Second Amendment is clear. Shall not be infringed means shall not be infringed. I urge all Americans to call their representatives and support Andrew Clyde's bill. And I yield back.
Thank you. Thank you to my good friend from Kentucky. And he is absolutely right. We have the power of the purse. Now I would like to yield 2 minutes to my good friend from Texas, Representative Weber.
I thank the gentleman from Georgia for yielding to me, and thank you for your efforts in leading this fight. Let's get something straight. I'm a proud Texan, and let me tell you, Texans are not happy when the government comes after their Second Amendment right. My District 14 on the Gulf Coast of Texas has more concealed handgun licensees than any other congressional district in Texas, and I have to assume in the country for that matter. The Second Amendment is extremely clear. Quote, "The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." What's so hard to understand about that? But let's face it, folks, the far left's dangerous attack on the United States Constitution continues unabated with yet another example right here with the ATF's unconstitutional pistol brace rule, which bans millions of firearms with stabilizing braces. The ATF ruling could turn as many as 40 million Americans into felons, and those 40 million Americans are sick and tired of faceless bureaucrats trying to destroy the Second Amendment. Mr. Speaker, Thomas Jefferson once said, "Where the people fear the government, there's tyranny. Where the government fears the people, there's liberty." I would add, Mr. Speaker, fear the government that fears your guns. I want to thank the gentleman from Georgia. Mr. Speaker, I yield back.
Thank you. Thank you to my good friend from Texas for those great words. And he's absolutely correct. When the government fears the people, there's liberty. So now I'd like to yield 2 minutes to my good friend from Florida, Matt Gaetz.
I thank the gentleman for his leadership and for yielding. The ATF's new rule, criminalizing pistol braces, is a brazen and unlawful attempt to usurp congressional authority. This pistol brace rule will fail for the same reason the bump stock rule failed. The ATF does not have the authority to create federal law. Nobody voted for the ATF, though I know a lot of people who would vote against them if they could. This new rule will ban pistol braces on certain firearms, forcing users to jump through numerous hoops to comply with this new decree or risk becoming a felon. Disabled veterans and others have used these braces for years to help them fire pistols, and the ATF has unilaterally decided that this is no longer acceptable. Now, otherwise law-abiding Americans will either have to destroy their newly illegal firearms or figure out how to comply with an arbitrary and confusing regulatory scheme outlined in the National Firearms Act. The ATF cannot be trusted to protect our rights to keep and bear arms. There is no timeline in which the ATF, under any administration, would become an ally. It needs to go. We need to abolish the ATF before they abolish our Second Amendment rights. Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms should be the name of a chain of convenience stores in Florida, not a federal agency. I urge every red-blooded American and every conservative in this Congress to stand with Representative Clyde and his legislation and to stand with me and co-sponsor my bill, the Abolish the ATF Act of 2023. Let's get rid of this unlawful agency once and for all, and let this special order be considered a shot across the bow. I yield back to the gentleman.
Thank you to my good friend from Florida, and that is indeed a great statement, a shot across the bow. Great example of what the United States Navy would do. So I thank you, and now to my good friend from Tennessee, Mr. Burchett, I yield 2 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Clyde, and thank you, Mr. Speaker, for your service to our great country. I don't have any notes for this, but I do want to say the ATF to me is the swamp. Now here we have a group of unelected bureaucrats, dadgummit, that have taken upon themselves to interpret a law. It always reminds me when I was in Nashville one time. I was sitting at the Crown Plaza across the street from the Capitol. One of my dear friends who just passed away, his name was Tom Hensley. He was called the Golden Goose. He was the liquor lobbyist. Never voted for his bills, but he always liked me. He told me one time a guy came up and threatened him that worked for our governor, and threatened him, and he sat there and he chomped on his cigar, and he walked away, and he said, Burchett, he said, you know what? He said, except in a few more years, he'll be gone, and the old goose will still be sitting here. And that is exactly the mentality of the swamp. It's not like on an episode of Simpsons where they're all 6 people are sitting around at a table, the old cartoon, and they're deciding what's going on. It's a bunch of unelected, arrogant bureaucrats who think they know best what's best for this country. And dadgummit, the ATF goes to best for once again. Law-abiding Americans, law-abiding citizens, law-abiding citizens, not being criminal bureaucrats. I appreciate your service to our country. Thank you for your world, and I look forward to voting with you.
Thank you very much to my good friend from Tennessee, and now I would yield 2 minutes to my colleague from the great state of Florida.
Thank you to the gentleman from Georgia, my friend Mr. Clyde, for hosting this special event. My speech is well beyond the 2 minutes that I'm allotted, so I'm just going to dispense with the notes, really, and talk about how absolutely insane, ridiculous, and unconstitutional this new rule is. Not only has it been completely blown out of proportion what the brace is, a brace that was originally designed for disabled veterans, increases stability, and since 2015 had been ruled as an accessory by the ATF, which under their own regulation, under their own guidance, they said that they didn't have jurisdiction over accessories. So I thought that was very interesting that now we have an unelected swamp creature, a bureaucrat, who thinks that they can now make felons, law-abiding citizens, felons, by now instituting this 120-day rule. A lot of people have talked about this, but few have talked about the economic impact this will have. Based on the NICS data that we have, this is going to be a $1.9 billion hit to the firearms industry. $1.9 billion to law-abiding citizens. And believe me, this rule has nothing to do with gun safety. This has nothing to do with making communities safer. This is just a backroom attempt, a backdoor attempt to get at the firearm industry. That is all this is and nothing more. This is why, Mr. Speaker, we have to pass the SHORT Act. This is why we have to pass the REINS Act. Because the REINS Act would prohibit any regulation that has $100 million more impact to an industry to come back to Congress for an up or down vote. And you can fire your congressman, but you cannot fire these unelected bureaucrats. So we need to pass the REINS Act. We need to absolutely stop this regulation in its tracks. And it's time to, once and for all, let those swamp creatures know that the Second Amendment shall not be.
Thank you. Thank you to my great colleague from the state of Florida for those encouraging remarks. And now I want to thank all my colleagues who participated here in this special order tonight. It's incredibly important that we show Americans that we are united and unwavering in protecting and preserving our Second Amendment freedoms. And with that, I yield back the balance of my time. Thank you.
Just you wait. Your days are numbered. Go!
Congress clearly intends to pick up exactly where the last Republican majority using the power of emergency meetings on real issues. This emergency popped up in the news. Really? Emergency procedures committee doesn't even sit on it. I mean, what's the point? It's not like, you know, we have one member who's threatening the life of another member. That's not what it is. I mean, give me a break. What's the next step?
Your days are numbered.
It's clear to me what this is all about. Retaliation, vengeance, it's about putting the I mean, Republicans told everyone who would listen that their top priority in the new majority was fighting inflation. We've seen nothing for this committee or on the floor that would reduce inflation. This is their emergency. Not inflation, not safer communities, not better jobs. This isn't an emergency. It's an embarrassment. And of course, on top of the third use of emergency procedures, the text of this resolution just became available an hour ago. Now, for all the rhetoric about 72 hours, giving everyone time to read bills and understand the meaning of the bills, it's clear that's all it was. Just last week, our colleague Mr. Roy told reporters that it better be, and I quote, a damn good thing, you know, a 9/11 attack or something, to give members less than 72 hours to read. My question is, and for the record, Congresswoman Omar is a good member of Congress. She fights hard for her district and for her values. She's apologized for the things she said. She has said she is one of the allies fighting anti-Semitism. She even voted every Democrat. You know who voted no on the resolution? Mr. Roy. And by the way, you know what Congressman Bowman has done? He never posted a video pretending to kill another member of Congress. He never threatened to kill the Speaker of the House of Representatives. He never had dinner with neo-Nazis like Dick Fuentes and anti-Semites like Kanye West. He's never spoken at a white supremacy rally. He's never said that she would have won January 6th because she would have been armed. Those are all things that folks on your side of the aisle have done. Should they all be removed from their committees? So please spare us the phony comparisons and lectures about anti-Semitism. We have a long list of things that Republican members have said and done, and they've never apologized for. And I'm happy to go into great detail, even more than I've done so. So we are happy to explore that list in detail during this hearing. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Don't mind me.
Last year,
Without objection, any prepared statements that our witnesses may have will be included in the record. I'd like to welcome our first panel, Chairman Guest and Ranking Wild, to the witness table. Chairman Guest, I welcome you.
On most vacations, you take a trip. But in Israel, you'll take a journey you'll never forget. Here you'll experience things so extraordinary, from the inspired
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today we are going to be tackling the subject of the gym girl, recording men, calling them creepy, boosting ego phenomenon that is happening. I've done a video in the past about this that performed very well. You guys really enjoyed that video, so I've covered this before, but I want to cover it again because it just continues to get worse. So many of you sent me this, so many of you tagged me in it. There's actually 2 videos. I'm going to do the one that I think you guys probably haven't seen as much because this other video, I've seen it everywhere. Like on every big channel, a million reactions. So you guys have definitely probably seen that. I'm going to do the other one first and then we'll get into the crazy one. So let's get into it. she's getting ready to do her walking lunges with her weights, taking up a pretty good amount of space on this track in the middle of the gym. A guy walks by behind her, looks her direction, and then continues to walk. And she says, "You can't make this up. I feel so uncomfortable right now." Here's the thing. Someone looking your direction is not creepy. It's only creepy if you don't like the way that person looks. Or if you want an ego boost. Okay? Let's be so serious. I can say this from a woman's perspective, putting myself in the shoes of this woman. If I'm at the gym and a guy looks my direction, I don't give a hoot. Because it's a public space that we're all using. I find myself accidentally looking at people or staring at people. I see a girl with a big butt that I know she's just done squats and looks great. I'm like, wow, she looks good. Or I see a guy who's super jacked, you know, looking, I'm like, wow, that guy's got it going. Like, these people got it going on. They're here to better themselves. They're here for a reason. They want to look good. They're taking care of their health. Sue me if I look at you. Sorry. The second thing that I think is so interesting about these videos is the girls claim that it's making them so uncomfortable when a guy is looking their direction or glancing at them. They feel creeped out, they think it's creepy, they feel uncomfortable, yet they're posting a video online for millions of people to see. First of all, her butt was just out in that video. She was wearing very short shorts. Not shaming what she's wearing, it's your choice what you wear to the gym. But millions of people could potentially see your butt online, and that doesn't creep you out or make you uncomfortable. But a guy looking your direction does. Going off of that point, these girls are posting the gyms that they work out in, where if you creep on their profiles, it's very easy to find out where they're located, and then in return would be incredibly easy to find out the gym that they're in. So if you're really creeped out or uncomfortable, I would be deeply concerned that you're posting the public gym that you work out in, when you're going, and someone online that's a creep could easily find you, stalk you, and find you in person.
Enough walking for now.
That's creepy. That makes me uncomfortable. More so than someone glancing my direction. Do we see the disconnect there? Like, am I the only one thinking that? I haven't watched anyone else's reaction videos, so I don't know if anyone's been thinking that too, but that's always my first thought of, like, it's so uncomfortable for you that a guy's looking your direction, yet you're posting a video online for millions of people to see with your public location. Whew. Okay, before I say anything else, let's watch this next video because I actually have not watched it all the way through. I only watched the very beginning, and I haven't watched anyone else's reactions to it. So I don't even know what I'm in for, but I've just seen this video freaking everywhere. So let's watch it.
This is how to not approach girls at the gym.
Oh my god, she's literally whispering into her microphone, saying horrible things about this guy. Off to a good start. She's calling him feral. You don't want people to watch you, but you're posting a video hip thrusting online.
If you're texting a girl you really like, but she's leaving you on red, waiting hours to reply, or ghosting you whenever you ask her out, then listen up and face this f***ing fact. She's always on her phone. Girls are always on their phone, which...
Let's do this! Easy! Let's do this! Get in!
Very good.
Wait, what did she say? Did It says, what if I just
Let's
ripped his
see.
pee-pee out of its socket so he could never reproduce again? This is why I don't want kids. Natural selection better take these weirdos out. He is going to jail for staring at an underage 21-year-old. You're saying all this about him? Yet he's the weirdo? No, ma'am, I think it's you. I think you're the problem. He just offered to help. Gosh, I wish more people would offer to help me. I got a personal trainer for that reason. I can't even lift
Don't
it.
let it get you down!
Anyway,
Goodbye!
she feels unsafe in a public place. Please, so good. You feel unsafe because a guy lifted his right up, glanced at it, and offered to help you put away him. And this is what makes me so upset, is that there are actually creeps and weirdos out there, and this whole boy cries thing, or I guess is just watering it down. Like, a guy looking at you is not creepy. A guy glancing your direction is not creepy. I can't understand. And this is clearly to just boost your ego. Does it feel good when people look at the gym? I think so. And then they post this online so that it's like, oh, look at all these guys. Look at these guys being so creepy and making me so uncomfortable. They're so obsessed with me. I feel so obsessed. That's what makes you look like you're being so stressed when you post a video like this. Saying that you feel unsafe because a man believes you. That's giving you. Another thing that makes me upset about these gym videos is that for a lot of people, men included in this, going to the gym is scary. It feels very intimidating for a lot of people. It's a big step for a lot of people. Is that the case for the guys in these videos? I don't know. But I think the gym feels very intimidating for a lot of people, and now the fact that you also have to worry about being filmed and mislabeled as a creep or glancing someone's direction just adds another layer of intimidation to it. I guess the gym is a place where you're going to better yourself, to improve your health and your well-being, and to make positive changes. Like, I don't know what girls want from guys at this point. Do you want them to wear those, like, blinder glasses that horses have to wear when they're walking on the road so that they don't get distracted by things in their peripheral vision? Because that's what it seems like. And even if someone does actually approach you at the gym, as they did in the videos that I've done in the past where I reacted to girls at the gym making videos like this, or similar videos to this, even if someone is not your cup of tea, you don't need to be mean to them. Or make them feel horrible, or belittle them, or patronize them, and post a video roasting them online. Once you get to the level of posting a video roasting someone online who clearly has not done anything, it's just an ego boost at that point, and it's so obvious, and I don't understand how anyone in the comments could even think or say otherwise. It's just always so obvious to me when people are posting videos for clout, or attention, or an ego boost. And videos like this do make me hesitant to approach women. I get it. I actually posted on my community page here, and I did a poll. And I asked men if they were hesitant to approach women because they were creepy. And I think like 30-something thousand people voted. And 65% voted that they wouldn't approach women for that reason, or they scared them to see them creepy. So And I think it's sad. I really do. Of course, there are bad apples, but I don't think most men look at you and try to make you feel uncomfortable. Like, that is not their intention. Again, I find myself staring at people all the time, glancing at people all the time. Luckily, I'm a woman, so nobody says anything. A man would not record me and post me as the last me online. I'll look at this creepy girl staring at me. I'm so uncomfortable. Be so rude. How do you even post that with a straight face? Like, I just don't. I don't get it. So again, I'm not I've spoken my piece here. It just continues to get worse, which is why I wanted to talk about it today. The way that this video has gone viral, I just wanted to bring attention to it and give you guys a woman's perspective that some of us see this, and not all of us are this way. I think there are still a lot of women who would be flattered if you approach them at the gym, but I understand the scene is why you guys don't even bother with it. I hope women see these videos and see through it the way I have, and understand that it is harmful and detrimental to men's mental health to label all of them as weak. Imagine how that would feel. Oh, God cut this out. It's sad, and the things that she was saying about this man in this video were vile and disgusting. And she deserves the backlash she's getting for that. Normally, I really try to keep it respectful and useful, but that was disgusting. You guys can let me know what you think down in the comments. If you like this video, helpful, be sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you know when I release new content. If you have any stories or experiences to share where something similar has happened to you, please share it down in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts and concerns, and just get a conversation going down in the comments and discuss this with each other. If you haven't already, be sure to follow me over on Instagram, @EPCRyan. I'd love to connect with you guys over on there as well. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
It's targeting you!
I took a really cool photo at home one time, and I got like a little piece of the kitchen counter fumble. But with the magic eraser, you can just make a little circle on that dent, and it'll erase. My name is Sheena, and I have a Google Pixel.
Great times. Victory!
Put this to good use. You're good for this.
Let's see.
La donna è nobile, qual piuma al vento, muta d'attento e di pensiero. Sempre una macchina, leggiadro viso, in bianco il viso, e menzognero. La donna è nobile, qual piuma al vento, muta d'attento.
Welcome to the Whatever Dating Talk podcast, coming to you live from Isla Vista, Santa Barbara County, California. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific. I'm your host, Brian Atlas. Hi. I'm joined by my co-host, Kiki. She's a bit shy. A few quick announcements before the show begins. This channel is viewer supported, so please consider sending a super chat throughout the show. I will read super chats $10 and up. All super chats will be displayed in stream overlay. We've got channel memberships, Patreon, merch, all links in the description. If you become a member, we will shout you out. During the stream, you get a bunch of cool perks too. We've got 6 different tiers. YouTube's doing a promo, it's 50% off, so the first 2 tiers, it's $5 and $2.50. Check it out, guys, we'll give you a shout out if you join. We are also streaming to Twitch right now, twitch.tv/whatever. Drop us a follow. If you want to be on the show or help with the show, DM @whatever on Instagram. And a quick question for the chat. What city are you guys in? Let us know. Anyways, we're going to have the guests introduce themselves, so please tell us your name, age, occupation, and or school major. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Lauren.
Into the mic.
I'm Lauren. I'm from Potomac, Maryland, East Coast. I'm a comm major at UCSD.
I thought you were about to say you were a communist.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today
Never miss a power spike in League again, thanks to Mobalytics. Mobalytics in-game tool will show you notifications when summoners reach new power spikes, leveling up, or getting a full new item. So when you're playing mid and see your beefy Leona support get level 6, you'll know. That's your cue to roam down the river, wait for Leona to sling that sweet ultimate, and pick up a few early kills. Ka-ching! Or if you're the squishy ADC, know when the enemy Nocturne reached level 6, so you won't overreach and die, like this poor guy. The power spike notification is the best tool to keep tabs on everything. Find those key moments to outplay your enemies. You got the power. Spike with Mobalytics in-game app. Get it now on Overlord. It's free.
Thousands of years, brave warriors journeyed to elemental in search of 8 magical stones hidden throughout the world. In the link to elemental earth. These stones possessed unrivaled power, healed corruption, and divided what was once a peaceful world. Many have tried and failed to harness the magic of the stones. But now, that quest belongs to me.
This is how to not approach girls at the gym.
It's targeting you!
You don't have to do that. Okay. No, it's okay. I got it. Thank you.
I just want to share my perspective on this video. If you guys want to watch the full thing, you can go over to the page.
First and foremost, as I've said before, there is a big difference between staring at somebody and simply looking or glancing at them. So why did this man look at you? Well, you're in front of him off to the side, you're in his peripheral. You're also taking a video with your camera pointed directly at him, and you're talking to yourself. He's probably watching you wondering, what is she doing? I know I would. Also, you talk about, why would this man come over and help me load my plates? Well, if you watch the video, he sees that you struggle putting plates on the other side. Now, any experienced lifter out there knows when you have a barbell on the ground, if you're doing hip thrusts, if you're doing deadlifts, it's very difficult to put plates on. There's actually a jack they make for you to be able to lift up the barbell so you can put the plates on. He sees that you struggle, being an experienced lifter, so he's going to try and help you, because that's what kind of people do.
And here's another take. Unpopular opinion, but guys are gonna look. What do you want us to do? Make looking at a person illegal? We're damn near already there. The pro of being a woman is you get a bunch of free attention. The con of being a woman is sometimes you get that attention from dudes you don't like. All I'm saying is, of course, it's not good for dudes to stare, but even celebrities have to deal with the paparazzi. After getting exposed, this is what she had to say in a Twitter thread. I am also extremely antisocial, and being hit on is never a compliment to me. I don't like to be approached. I haven't dated for a year because I despise being sexualized. It always happens anyway, and I get frustrated. It's normal for girls to feel this way because it happens often, ? If you despise being sexualized so much, then why do you have an OnlyFans?
What are you doing?
I'm getting beer. $10.99.
Oh, we don't have money for that.
Ooh, what the fuck's that?
Makeup?
That's $20 fucking dollars. Put it back.
It's to make me look pretty.
Beer does the same thing. $10.
Bow, 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 bow.
Bodies, 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 bodies!
The funniest part about that are the dudes that are just walking by laughing. Everybody's strong and independent until it's time to gas up the Tesla.
But I just feel like guys should not, just never talk about women.
As far as
Everything. Like, it should never be a conversation.
you said, talk about them.
Yeah, as far as okay, let's say me, Kim Kardashian, Jada, Ari. It should never be a conversation amongst men, because it's you have to then blame the consumer, right? Because these girls, us, are known as not having talent, but we make a lot of money. I just feel when it comes to men, right?
Yeah.
And it's loose and all that, right? But y'all stick y'all dick in everything, but then you call us for the consumer loving us. I just feel like men just should never say that.
No, I understand. Like I'm,
Yeah.
But do you talk about niggas in a derogatory way?
Niggas ain't shit.
Ain't this about
Huh? So this video is gonna get pegged as misogynistic. That seems to be the trending term the past couple of weeks. But I'm just keeping it real with this observation. There is a subset of chicks out there that genuinely are uncomfortable when they are...
Hello, Tenno. We are launching cross-platform play for Warframe. We're thrilled that we got to finally launch this, and you'll be able to connect with Tenno all over the world on any platform. From cross-platform play to cross-save in the future, we are delighted that the time has come that all Tenno can play Warframe together.
I'll be here when you need me.
Want to top the leaderboard in the new season? I would recommend you pick Divine Shot Corino. It's a range class, which means you can deal a lot of area damage without having to fight mobs in melee range. You can pair it with the skill Blazing Bullet, which was added in the new season upgrade to create a new BD. When the skill penetrates an enemy, it will cause a huge AoE explosion. The more enemies it hits, the more damage it adds up. Trust me, he will be the most popular choice for topping the leaderboard in the new season.
are stared at in the gym by guys. They're gawked at, they're drooled over, they don't like it. But they're also the ones who don't leave very little to be desired with their gym attire. Then there's these fake outrage chicks that go on Twitter and Instagram and say, I hate when guys stare at me at the gym. Maybe it's the lime green leggings that you have on that we can see from a mile away. Maybe it's the fluorescent yellow leggings that you have hiked up right under your rack that gives you the biggest wedgie known to man. Maybe that has something to do with it. Or maybe the shorts that you bought in the kids section that has the bottom of your butt cheeks hanging out. You're not doing it for comfort. It's like guys that wear stringers in the gym. We don't wear stringers because it's hot. We don't wear stringers because we can see our muscles moving up and down or it's comfortable. We wear stringers to say, look at my body and how hard I work to build it. The reason you're wearing these leggings is for attention. You are saying, look at my big fat juicy. And I applaud you. I speak for 99% of the bros out there. We got no problem whatsoever with what you're wearing. But you can't complain about it. If you don't want to be looked at, wear a snowsuit.
He's absolutely right. Look, I get it. Everybody wants attention. And if you're a woman, I assume you probably have a natural inclination to want more attention. But if you're doing things to get attention, like going to the gym in fluorescent pink short shorts that crease in the middle of your butt cheeks, don't try to act surprised when people give you attention.
Hello?
Boy, I'm apologising, Ellie.
Are you actually, though, like, legit apologising? Because, like, I've had, like, half a chat in my life, fucking trying to violate me. And like, the thing is, you don't know my story. Like, you don't know.
Alright, nah, bruv, I'm not. If you want to lose weight, link in my TikTok bio, fat loss program. I'm a very nice person, I'm accepting of things you can't change, but don't come on the live and be like, you don't know my story. You're fat because you eat bare food and you don't exercise. Shut up, end of, move on. And I'll never violate someone for something they can't change, but don't try to chat like you don't know my story.
Every single person can find a reason to justify why they shouldn't go to the gym. The main difference between people who are successful in the gym and people who aren't is successful people will go anyway.
You got 5 seconds to get her number. What would you say?
What's your number?
What?
What the fuck?
I was saying you ain't got no smooth pickup line like you like.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I swear, I told you I'm blunt. I just tell females like, you fine as hell, like.
For sure. So based off that, you'll give me your number.
No, because it was no effort.
What you want me to do? Goddamn, get some goddamn flowers and shit?
Thank you.
That's what I'm saying. What you want me to say?
Come in my car.
Come in your car? What do you mean by that?
We driving off. What you need my number for?
Driving to where? That's what I'm saying. You got me fucked up.
Get in my car? I'm trying to tell y'all, I don't know very many women that got game. If she was a dude, she'd be in jail before noon. In all honesty, women tell you what they like. Use words like good energy and talk about astrology. You'll be fine.
Kind of ironic that a white man is wearing a woman for Trump and a feminist for Trump when I consider myself a feminist. And
did you just assume my gender? You said white man.
Okay, I see your point there.
How do you know I'm not a woman?
I see your point.
You need to check your white privilege, your white female privilege, I think.
You think?
A little bit. I actually identify as a non-binary, gender fluid dragonkin.
Are you trying to make up? Are you just trying to be funny now? Or?
Like part dragon, like I can breathe fire, and sometimes I flap my wings and I whoosh into the sky.
Literally, a dog can tell the difference between a man and a woman. This stuff is genuinely scary to me. There are grown adults that can look at the sky and see that the sky is blue, and because somebody convincingly enough said that it's red, they'll just believe it. Now I see how tragedies like the Holocaust are possible. Let me know in the comments below if this video was a W or an L, and give me the HBO special. That's a Help a Brother Out special. Hit the like and the subscribe button for more content. Till next time.
Many adults are looking for a deeper connection to themselves and to things that really matter. A deeper connection to the people around them, a deeper connection to why they're doing the work that they're doing, a deeper connection to their purpose, a deeper connection to who they really are.